lot, right? The Mutineers, whenever they faced off against the Ravens, a lot of long-range maps, Gavutus, etc., things like that, Desert Siege, or maps of that caliber, right? And I don't know what it is. It's like we expected this team coming into the game to struggle on the Bokages and dominate on the Gavutus, but it seems to be the exact opposite. Jay, from your perspective, what makes the Mutineers such a lethal team on this map when, like I said, given the roles, it doesn't look like it should be that way?
I think it's because you allow your SMG players to just be the superstars. When you're playing smaller maps, this is where they can really take over. They know the spawns, they know the timings, they know exactly when they need to be pushing out the right cuts. And compared to a Gavutu map where you can get bit in the behind if you're not rotating. And that's what happens to them versus the Ravens. Ravens just completely outslaying them the entire time. And even caught optical guard yesterday when they were playing the Ravens because they just have such a tremendous slaying power. So if Florida were not able to match that, as well as not rotating at hard points, eventually leads to a bad recipe.
Love to hear it, my friend. Like I said, really feels like Bocage is just a flex of your gun skill. And we know the Mutineers have got quite a bit of that, as we said. But we've already seen Skies drop 45 kills on Bocage. Vivid tops him by 1, goes for 46 in our first map of what is going to be an electric series, especially if it's anything like the good old cage to start. But now we've got to focus our attention toward this Tuscan Search and Destroy. And I don't know, Jay, it's an interesting one, right? We talked about Paris, how great they looked versus Atlanta. And a lot of people would say, oh, it's got to be through the Search and Destroys, right? Not at all the case. It was actually Respawn.
Yeah, it didn't really make sense to me because this team, when you look at this roster, they have great Search and Destroy players. Like Felony, I was a former teammate of his. He's always been a great Search and Destroy player. His nickname used to be Mr. Mid-Map. He should just run around the middle of the map, get a two-piece whenever he wanted. And Decimate as well, this is a guy who, we saw him last year. He subbed in for NYSL and was able to take over in a Search and Destroy to win him that series. Like, these guys have the players that they want for their team. When it comes to this game mode, it just comes down to the chemistry and the playmaking, because yesterday we saw a lot of individual plays that eventually causes them. When you start with a man disadvantage, you have to make sure you recuperate and execute the game plan.
Yeah, and that's a great call. So it's not just been, rather on the Paris Legion side, struggles in Search and Destroy, but also the same thing could be said for the Mutineers, at least in their last match. We know what they could do on Berlin Search and Destroy. There's no doubt about that, right? But in regards to the way that they played the London Royal Ravens on that Desert Siege, I mean, what did you think was really the biggest difference maker as we take a look at the numbers?
When they played against the Ravens on Desert Siege, Ravens, they just completely were opened up with every single first blood and then just winning a majority of those trades, using their man advantage to their advantage to close out a bunch of these rounds. And for Florida, they just started off so slow into the S&D. If you have such great S&G presence, you want to be aggressive early into these rounds so you do not allow the other team to set the tone. As you see here, they have 73 offensive percentage round wins, but when they're on defense, they're only winning 38%. That is horrific. When you're on the defensive side, you have to allow them to plant the bomb, make it blow up for 45 seconds, and that's the way you're going to lose it. But they're consistently losing those, so they're finding their wins on offense. You just have to find your wins on defenses. Once you get that first blood, you need to be able to capitalize it with a W.
It's a great call, right? I mean, Mutineers playing untypical Search and Destroy, despite having what at this moment is a positive record. But given the way that Tuscan plays, I don't know, right? Very offensive heavy. We're talking about plants, how well they can be once they plant them. I don't know. It just seems like maybe this map could be a match made in heaven for this Mutineers team, who, granted, isn't great at defense. Well, in Tuscan, it's sometimes difficult to be good on defense. So who knows? It could be great. It could be bad. All I know is I'm excited to see Vivid, a.k.a. Reese Drost, dominate some more. Again, 46 kills in the map one? Goodness sake.
Yeah, the guy's an absolute monster. And now you have to continue that momentum going into this map number 2. So if I'm Florida, it's all about taking mid-map control. You want to make sure, at least on your offensive attacks, you start off with that initial push. Even on the defense, like right here, this is a beautiful round right here. Look at this play. They're just hitting right through this A-bomb, and this should catch Paris completely off guard.
It appears that John not at all interested in those fights. He just saw 3 Mutineer players just run through field. He's like, yeah, I'll go ahead and try this one out a little bit different. Early engagements, no surprise there, are going to come through Vivid, as John does have out the big boy. So, like I said, he definitely saw those players coming through from field with that car, as he'll look to reference on back. And the Legion maybe changing up the strategies here. They'll go ahead and rotate the bomb now over at B, and Awakening could be the worst player to be here, but in fact, it's John pulling out the pistol.
Get some unfortunate timing right there for Awakening. So now it's going to be a 3v4. See that Florida, they're trying to set up on this pinch. One player working the deep flank, one player in Vivid working his way through top fire. as Skies is able to find one, make it a 3v3.
Guy's able to drop the first, so like you said, even now at a 3 versus 3. We'll see exactly how Vivid looks to attack this. Get some great shots there on DeFellow. And now John, feeling the pressure, has to go for this player inside of P5. And great shots coming through from John. He pulls out the automaton and might have to do all the work himself. Final player is going to be on to Temp. 15 seconds left. Can he hold off this defuse? Put some good shots into the first, and now he'll make Dave have to go for the challenge, and it will be Temp once more. A 1v2, had the time, and he'll use it well.
And that's just a great round from Paris Legion right there. They tried to they slow and steady work that round right there. They were saying, hey, everybody spread map. Let's see what they're going to come out with. They saw 4 people push straight through that A bomb. They immediately hit the rotation straight to B, caught Awakening off guard, and immediately worked that bomb plant. That was great work from Paris Legion to take the round to them and open up with that first win.
And it felt a little odd, too, right, from the Mutineer side, because they had full mid-map control, maybe just a late call-out, something like that to read. But was more of an on push toward that B side, especially in round number 1. But again, we'll continue to talk about the Mutineers in those defensive rounds, as that will continue to be the conversation. Struggling here off the rip, but now they'll give it their best go in the attacking side as Dave gives Fellow a nice new cut, put it lightly. Not sure if he can return that, as John once more being an issue inside of P5 as he'll level it now at 3-3.
And Tempe is at least able to spot Dave Patty towards lower fountain side. John's going to commit towards the gunfight. Now it's going to make it a 3v2. That one player in number 8, an Awakening, he's the safety net. He's the guy that can spot the bomb from the middle of the map.
Guys, a great early pick, but Temp's there for the trade. Now it'll all be on to Big Wake. 15 seconds. Similar situation to what we saw Temp be in last round, but Temp watching over for his teammate, and it's a identical round to what we saw in the first one. Temp makes the clutch in round 1, but this time it's Big Wake. 1v2, plays the time, and we've got ourselves a 1-1 score.
And that was a great round from Florida. Right off the rip, I'm pretty sure they showed a lot of middle presence, so they slowed down the players from the Paris Legion. And then eventually, Paris Legion, they're thinking, hey, this guy has to go for the instant plant. They waste 2 nades. That's their first line of defense. Once you don't get a kill there, it's basically impossible to tell when that guy's going to be planting that bomb. They open up with the first blood, and then they play the man advantage. Awakening puts himself in a great spot to clutch up the round.
John's got the big boy out. We'll see what he can do with it. Meanwhile, the utility tossed throughout the good old Italian streets of Tuscan. Skies as well looking for the angle, watching for what could be the late flank, but that bomb is going to go down unscathed. Now a player falls, and oh, Vivid, right as he looks to challenge, he gets picked apart. Double headshots off the rip here for the Legion. As Dave, aware of the pressure that could come, is at least able to even the score, and Awakening will also. Dave Patty now left in a position to clutch, and he's got the sniper now too, and he'll make him work for it. Now into a 1 versus 1. Fellow versus Dave Patty. Longtime teammates and challengers, but Fellow is able to take it. A 1v1, and now Legion go up 2-1.
Yeah, right there. That was all on Legion, just slow and steady working towards that A bomb. They did not just overextend towards the middle of the map. They were slowly and steady, just trying to get that bomb down. Then once Temp found that opening kill, they eventually got the second. And it almost got scary there because it turns to a 2v2. But like you said, Fellow, he knows Dave Patty, his former teammates. You know his tendencies. Checks the bomb in the perfect time to win the round.
Yeah, you don't like to say, father like son. I guarantee if he took off the glasses, there could be some relation there. You think between he and Fellow? Maybe?
Potentially.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's the neck. I have no idea. Not exactly sure. And how about the nade off the start from Temp? Again, we talked about first bloods. Mutineers having some struggles with those, but this time it's Temp who's able to secure it. Dave laying down some shots with the automaton, but with that map dropping, or rather with the bomb dropping, rather in the middle of the map, could make things quite precarious as Temp looks to check out radio, and Skies will look to distance himself back inside a field.
So now this play is all going to come down to Vivid, but he's going to lose that gunfight to Temp. He was in such a great position to try to be the playmaker, forces it to a 4v2, and Skies is going to turn the corner. Hello, everyone's there. And just like that, Paris Legion are able to win the round. Such a huge one-on-one between Temp and Vivid. Like, if he doesn't win that, turns into a 3v3, you give Vivid the chance to be the playmaker. But when Skies turns that corner, he sees 3, it's going to be immediately traded. And then Paris Legion just holding on the defense. That's good work out of Paris. We did not see this yesterday. It was all a lot of individual plays, but so far they're playing the search and destroy like a team.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And as we said, we expect this Legion team to be great at a mode like this, however long it takes. One of the oldest teams on average in the league, and with the players that they have, the talent that they have, search and destroy, it runs through their veins, but up 3-1 right now. Decimate surprisingly yet to get a kill despite the advantage that they possess, and Dave is going to keep that sniper. Is actually sitting inside of the middle of the map.
Yeah, this is a different type of confidence. Just rush right up the middle of the map with the sniper in your hand. They're going to be at least able to give some information that these players are approaching that A bomb. The Sky still, he doesn't want to overpeak, doesn't want to get sniped. Paris Legion's trying to find the right moment to work this bomb plant.
Oh, and Skies again. First blood there on the fellow, and John gotta be somewhat frustrated about it because that's the angle that he's supposed to hold. Oh. Skies will make him pay for both of them. The 2-for-1 deal, but Skies not interested in getting taken down as he'll look to reference back. It's Vivid quickly on the flank. How about this setup from the Legion? Decimate gets dropped. A round that started off a little bit weird, considering we saw a sniper in the middle of the map, but Skies makes the biggest of differences here. Finding, what, was that 3 in the round?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he found 3. He opens up with the first 2 and then closes out right there. That was just beautiful work from Skies. Like, we knew that the pressure was going to come in towards that A bomb. Paris Legion, they were taking their time on planning that bomb. Once Skies opens up with that first blood, on the side of Paris Legion, you're trying to play for that trade. But once he finds the second, now in the 4v2, Florida, they do the exact same thing. They have 3 players run around the entire opposite side of the map, and they just play the trades. Beautiful round for Florida.
The problem for Legion fans, the Skies is still going to be here. Dave, meanwhile, with the sniper, able to drop tip for the first blood. The Mutineers will at least be able to accrue that. And it looks like they will get the plant down. That nade's going to come in right as Awakening punches in the final digit. But he's able to escape with this life. Nice shots from Fellow. As the final bullet connects with Dave once more. A continuous 1v1 that we'll have to look out for. John gets picked apart inside of mid. We say goodnight to Fellow, and it's all on to Desi. All on to Decimate. Now's the time to fire that weapon. A 1-4 start. Now make it 1-5. Mutineers, another one secured.
And that's 2 back-to-back. Florida just taking their time once again. After they open up with the first blood, that's when eventually they decided to work that A-bomb plant. And so far, it's been working in their favor. As Dave Patty, he opens up with that first kill. They have the man advantage. They're just playing the trades to close out these rounds. Now we're tied up at 3 apiece. Florida going back on the defense. If I'm Paris Legion, the very first round, that B push definitely caught them off guard.
Yeah.
But if you're going to go slow and steady towards A, you got to get them to utilize their nades.
Looks like they'll still go for the A attack, at least off the start. We have, like you said, seen them rotate effectively. Hello is able to drop Vivid to kick off this round 7. Is Legion all together? Keep in mind, player 2 could cause problems, and it will be John. Up close and in your face. A great kill as Dave, once more, continuing to be problematic with the car. Shuts down Temp, and now it's all going to be on to the 2v3 retake.
And John in a great position to watch this late flank as Dave Patty is going to peek the door. John's going to be able to find that easy kill now. An Awakening in a 1v3 situation. It's an impossible task to get done as they have the crossfire sets up. Finds the first kill onto John, but it's going to be immediately traded. That's a great round from Paris Legion. They open up with that first blood with a nade, and then they work the bomb plant. At that point, it's just you put yourself in a decision-making mode if you're Florida. Hey, do we decide to just straight on push through, try to stop that bomb plant, or play for the retake? They decided to play for the retake. One player drops, turns it into a 4v2. It's going to be a difficult task to get done because the way Paris was set up right there, they had every single cut watched.
Yeah, and a lot of that, like you said, was because of some great plays from John as well. I mean, we could talk about this guy a lot, but what he was able to do yesterday versus Atlanta was nothing short of spectacular. He and Temp putting up some great performances. We hope to only see that continue throughout the remainder here of Major 1 and also throughout the season. Vivid thought it could maybe ruin him that timing, but is at least able to trade for the start. Known as one of the faster players in Search and Destroy and showing us exactly why that's the case, but John maybe trying to take the title from him. Continues to be a menace inside of the church as Skies and Dave. Mutineers again. A man down as Dave looks to apply some shots toward the field as we say goodbye to Skies. And now it's up to the Rook in a 1v2 clutch versus some of the more veteran players in the game. A big round here for Florida, and we'll see what Dave has got.
So now if you're Paris Legion, you just want to play the buddy system. You do not want to allow these one-on-one gunfights. So even if it comes down to it, you will give up this A-bomb plant. As bomb is still going to be down, 25 seconds left. Davey's going to be able to pick it up. One player's just watching flank, one player's watching the A-cross. That's eventually going to give the information to the teammates. Now the double child's going to come in from mid, and just like that, Paris Legion, this is textbook. This is beautiful search and destroy. Buddy system up when you have the man advantage. You should, majority of the time, close out that round as they once again were able to open up with another first blood, which eventually leads to them closing out the round up 5-3, one away from tying the series up.
And it's fun, Jay, right? I mean, it feels like this Paris Legion team is just like a classic COD roster. I mean, just the way that they play certain angles. We talk about how, they were playing on Bocage, always favoring the spawns, not trying to necessarily go for the up in your face type of gunfights. They can do that, but playing for spawns and search and destroys, playing the numbers, just the classic way that you love to see COD be played. Now, a lot of the vets are shaking their head like, yes, that's the play to make. Good stuff coming in from Legion is now they have got a chance to take a search and destroy, which would be their first here in Vanguard. John getting all kinds of comfortable inside a church. He escapes with his life. I don't know how in the world that works out, but Fellow is at least able to find his 5th kill in a row. It will be a 2-for-1 trade, working out in the favor of the Mutineers as it all be on to Desi. A 1v3 for the game.
He does have bomb. So if you can look at least one of these players. Takes down Dave Patty. Too bad the trade is potentially going to be here, but Awakening, he's trying to get out of play. He's going to give up his life for free, and it turns it into a 1v1. 35 seconds left. Decimate has a freebie bomb plan if he takes it.
But Willie. Guys checking to the middle side. Could see a field engagement happen, but only 20 seconds left. He's got to make a choice, and Skies, of course it's Skies, inside of the field, where he has found 80% of his kills so far throughout this search and destroy. Saves the round, saves the game for Mutineers. The near 1v clutch from Decimate, not meant to be.
Yeah, Florida right there on the defense has said, hey, we've been giving up this A-bomb way too many times. They decide to just be super aggressive on the right side, take control of that side of the map, and then eventually open up with that first blood. It almost got kind of scary, though. If you're Awakening in that situation, you shoot, you got to commit to the gunfight, especially if your teammate is all the way across the map. It's either you win or you lose it, but once you shoot and give it position, you can't give up your life for free like that.
All right. Here we go, into the round 10. Utility tossed either which way. A lot of players positioned inside a church. Dave Patty seems to be a rare miss snipe. At least distance the Legion off for now, but they are aware that that bomb is going to be going down soon. Somehow, some way, Awakening escapes with 26 HP. Dave once more, 0 for 2 in snipes to kick off this round. And that will allow for Paris to get all kinds of map control.
You see Paris starting to attack to the middle of the alley, but Skies is watching Dave Patty's back. So to get the first blood, Dave Patty unfortunately is going to miss that shot. Desi finds the third. Trades going back and forth through the middle of the map. 20 seconds left in the 3v2 are going to be Paris.
Still 15 seconds to work with. Awakening, bad timing, and there's Decimate's chance. Can he do it? Again, another situation to clutch. Despite the missed snipes, Dave is still alive. And with 5 seconds, Decimate is not going to have time for a defuse. Kills are nice. Dave says, yeah, I'll go for free. We'll be happy to try to take that offense here in round 11. And boy, oh boy, I have no idea how we got to overtime, but we're here, Jay.
So right there, it just comes down to a situation where Paris Legion, you have your nades in top church. It all depends on when you want to throw it. It just got really bad timing. Once Awakening gets away from that bomb plant, I would like to see him go towards their spawn instead of wrapping back, because you probably could have threw your life away when he was done planting that bomb, but he gets away with his life. And then eventually, just great team setup coming in from Florida to watch Dave Patty's flank as he was sitting top fire. Now we're going into a round 11, Florida on the offense.
Well over. On his over.
Let's see what they've got cooked up. Only player really out of the fight right now is going to be Vivid. Another first blood as Dave takes the head off of Temp. And somewhat frustratingly, Donnie Temp will have to sit and watch his teammates look to clutch the 3 versus 4.
Paris able to get through the middle of the map.
And John.
Vivid.
Oh.
John's over.
It's gonna walk right on by.
Oof.
They're eventually gonna start to work this bomb plant. But do they know the positioning of John? John's gonna be able to come behind one of these players for free. Potentially get that kill, even up the numbers, making it 3v3 now.
How about the plays from John? Meanwhile, Decimate gets taken down there from Vivid. Man disadvantage for the Legion. Oh my goodness, Johnny takes down Vivid. A 2 versus 2, 25 seconds left. That does not get more intense than this, for God's sake. As the Mutineers will make the rotation toward B, and they should be successful in getting this bomb down. But Fellow, he's gonna be oh so close. Fellow's oh so close. He takes down Awakening. It's a 1v1 again. John versus Skies. John aware of the position, and he knows that he's gonna have to challenge quite soon.
Yeah.
They run past each other again, but John may have the best of timing. Skies trying to escape. Run, Skies. Run, for God's sake. You can win the round, but John will secure it. John clutches out the 1v1 and will give Paris the OT victory. Their first search and destroy win here in Vanguard. And my word, it came down to the littlest of details. A sigh of relief from Temp as the Legion tie up the series at 1.
Yeah, that was not clean. But when you have an MVP caliber player on your roster, 5-5 round 11, you're gonna put all the trust into him. He was able to work his way through the deep flank, get past Vivid, and now in the 4v3 disadvantage, you saw Florida. They had full bomb at A. They had all of A control. But once John finds that kill onto Dave Patty in the back, now you have to be cautious. Like, hey, we can get shot from the middle, we can get shot from their spawn, and then we can now get shot from our spawn. There's a whole lot of things that they had to watch, but John, being the playmaker, winning such huge gunfights, round after round. In that final round, he picks up 3 kills to solidify the game, tie the series up at 1 apiece. Oh, man. But what a start to the day. I'm telling you, we're probably getting another game 5, man. This is insane.
I was gonna say, I was like, if the Mutineers take this, I get a little bit worried, but oh my word.
Oh my God.
Unbelievable. Let's go take a look at our game field tactical play. I mean, Jay, walk me through this, a 1v1. John's able to take it. Timing, this was absurd.
He spots him. He spots him right here when he auto-mantles. He has to unfortunately drop down. So now if you're Skies, you know that he knows who you are. It's all about playing your life. But in this situation, Skies is probably thinking he knows my position. He already put down a couple shots. He's probably gonna go instantly for the defuse. But John, the MVP caliber world champion that he is, he knows the situation. He plays for the kill, eventually gets the defuse to tie the series up 1 apiece, man. Unbelievable.
You saw the player cam, just a little smirk there from John's face. He has no idea how many times he nearly got killed in that round 11.
Yeah.
Some unbelievable timing. But Paris somehow, some way will close out that round 11 here on Tuscan, and now we've got ourselves a 1-1 series. I mean, I tell you what, man, just incredible plays from John. I mean, you got to give this guy some props. He was absolutely dominant versus Atlanta FaZe and the Tiny Tears. I'm good for it, Mr. Adam AP. I got you here. But still, man, you gotta be excited about this Legion team. But again, it gets a little bit dicey. And they said not the perfect search and destroy for this team. But if John's making plays like that, you got to be excited as a Paris fan.
100%, and then especially now that you're going into a Gavutsu control next map, that has been their bread and butter. They were able to take down the Thieves at kickoff. They were able to beat Atlanta FaZe in it yesterday. You just have to get that same performance out of Temp and John, because Temp, like I said, 80% non-traded kills. Yeah. He was basically a god on the map. Wild. You need to try to shut him down if you're Florida.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of things to look at if you are the Florida Mutineers. Gavutsu control, it's been a great one previously for Paris. Can they rely on it again? As that will be our game 3 as we take a look through the highlights. We're going to throw it to a quick little commercial break. When we come back, it's time for Gavutsu.
Think so? Oh boy. He'll be alright. Yeah. Oh boy. You have homework to do or not?
A little bit. Finish the damn homework.
Yeah, at this age.
He's up there.
My soul is
Oh no 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 no. Oh no 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 no. Oh no 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 no. I'm here.
Hey.
Hey dude. Come on. Come on. Come on, dude.
Thank you. Yeah.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can.
Welcome back, folks, to CDL opening weekend. It is day number 3 in our first match of the day. What a match. It has been a wild series so far, going down between the Florida Mutineers, the Paris Legion, as both teams are looking for their very first win of the official season. Myself and Study here to guide you guys along for the rest of this bad boy. And Jay, I got one question for you. Are you
Okay.
sweating? Are you sweating right now?
I did some different things today. Hey, like I said, I
Okay.
was gonna open my window, so that's currently open. And then I rubbed a lot of baby powder all over myself. So
Okay.
we should be straight today. We should be in a good position.
I just got some interesting visuals right there. All right, but
Awesome.
heading into this game 3 control. I'm glad that you're doing well, by the way, because
Thank you.
we very well. By the way, folks, strap in. It just feels like it's gonna go 5. I don't know. It's something with us. It's just something great, but it just feels like this is going 5. But the big problem, I guess you could say, for the Mutineers, Jay, is that they've not been looking all that great at Kavoot, or rather at control. They are 0-3. On the other side for Paris, they have yet to lose here on Kavoot to control.
Yeah, so they're going to be super competent if you're Paris Legion. But if you're Florida, you just got to completely just wipe away the loss that you took versus London, because they got outslayed tremendously. The only player over a 1.0 KD was Awakening, but based off that first hard point, Skies and Vivid are here to play. So here we go. Paris Legion are going to be in the offensive attack. They're trying to have a 2-2 split. 2 players go towards A, 2 players go towards ring. And this can come back to bite them if they eliminate all these players at the ship side and get pushed up towards Cliff.
Yeah, the farthest pushed up player right now for the Legion is going to be Decimate. So he'll be in the midst of a brawl at B. He'll actually be, well, somewhat successful in that before Nade unfortunately sends him across the other side of the map. But his distraction will at least provide a little bit of clearance now for the Legion, as John, sitting inside of Oil, is successful in taking down Vivid. So with that, the Legion will to try to capture this A point. They're able to sniff out Skies, who was going for a flank. John continuing to be a problem here in the bottom side of the cages, just in this position alone. This is how great he was yesterday. Wonderful stuff from John, as he's now on 3 in a row, single-handedly allowing for one half of the map to not be accessible from this Florida side. We are nearly halfway there at that A point, and now John sits on 4 in a row.
He's on fire. He was literally on fire earlier when he was stepping over a barrel, but he's not missing shots right now. First tick of aggression is going to be done. Second tick is on its way. But with John putting so much pressure in towards this green area, if you're Florida, you're just putting yourself in a situation where, like, hey, we got to hold ring. We're probably going to have to give this up and hold for a minute 30.
Oh, and player number 8, Awakening. How is he not? How does nobody know that John's here? How does nobody know that John is still here? He's not left. Thank you, Awakening. Oh my goodness, John was hanging out inside of the cages, and now with the recent spawn that we get for Paris, that puts him in an awkward spot. What could be what turns the tide of this round, that Legion spawn, they're going to have to get somebody on to B, as they are up in terms of lives. They have got to get to this point. Farthest pushed up player is going to be John, as he gets met with a nice double there from Vivid. Player number 3 will get there at just the nick of time. Cannot allow for a contest, cannot allow for this point to go vacant. Temp, the only man up, as John will look to join alongside of him. They contest for the perfect amount of time. It got a little dicey there toward the end, despite the spree that we see from John. The Mutineers clutch up here on D.
Yes, the entire time that John was pushed up in green, you saw Florida. They just could not break out of that setup. But once they took care of John, they were able to clean the entire map, get a clean 4 dead, and then get pushed up with about 30 seconds left. If you're Paris Legion, you have to make sure that you're securing that A point, especially if John is just controlling green the way that he was. Once they lost that, with about 30 seconds left, you just have to shut down one push for Florida. They did that. They win the round. Now they're going into the offensive attack.
Now you're going to be somewhat frustrated if you're John, right? You're looking like, guys, I am literally...
He also teammated too during that 4 piece. It was unfortunate.
It's true. It is true. Okay, I'll give him that. But at the very least, you're a little bit frustrated. You're like, guys, I'm pretty much doing all of the work here in green. We got to do something. But got to toss that aside. That's how I would communicate if I was in a game, which is the reason why, one of the many reasons why I never competed. Anyway, Mutineers off to a solid start in terms of positioning. They've yet to finally get on that A objective point, as Awakening decided to dip his toes into that. John making quick work of him. Of course, it's John. State Patty gets silenced as well. Legion able to clear the Mutineers off a boat for the time. That's a good sign, considering how that opening attack went for them.
Yeah, and this is great work from Paris, because even though they lost that first offensive attack, they still were able to win the round in kills, I'm pretty sure, by 3. So now on defense, it all depends on how much you can put them in this setup, as Vivid is able to sneak his way through the B. And if I'm Vivid, you're just stopping this clock right now. You're going to force a couple players from Paris Legion to play off the rotation, which should allow your teammates to eventually get on that A point.
Whew. Shots from Vivid, unfortunately, not able to take down Temp in that engagement. But as we said, the one player who ends up going toward B always frees up his teammates over toward that boat side. Making the sacrifice is Vivid, and it looks to be working out quite nicely. One problem could be the one man on your screen. 27 seconds, and John, hot on the flank. Silences Dave Patty for the first, and the Mutineers pushed up inside of green. John, really the only player with an arm's distance of trying to challenge this. He'll get picked off, and again, the Legion playing off of each other, trying to utilize that teamwork, the map positioning the best way that they can. That 1v1 very well could do it. John may give it the one more college try. Not going to be the case. He'll go ahead and still cause some problems inside a boat, but it's the Mutineers who add another minute of time on toward the clock. 1:10. They've got a little bit of progress at B to work with.
Yeah, so right now it's all about taking control of this ship side, or taking control of green. As you see Dave Patty working his way through the middle of the map, almost hits great shots onto John, but this eventually allows Vivid to be the playmaker, to sneak his way through the back. Decimate's going to read it. His position is going to get called out, as Paris do find 2 in the feed. He gets traded now with 45 seconds left. Paris Legion, they just have to hold for one good push, and this round should be theirs.
Yeah, it looks solid right now for Paris. As you called it, John having a great start through 1.5 rounds. Sits at 14-8 as Awakening gets picked apart toward the top side of the boat. He was looking for that positioning in top 3. Not able to grant it. The Skies, all he can do is really just find some hit markers. And Dave, a great flank, but he's not really going to have anybody there for the pinch, but he can just do it himself. Okay, Dave, not a problem at all. A 1 versus 3 in terms of all these 1v1s, and he's taken everybody down, stopping the clock at 21 seconds. But the question remains, can the Mutineers join alongside their rookie? Can they get to this guy? He gets taken down by a nade. With 18 seconds left, we're tied in lives. Can the Mutineers make anything of Dave's heroics? And it looks as if that's not going to be the case. Skies may give it one more push, and he should be good to at least slide into this if he's interested. And they will be. The whole roster's here. The whole gang is partying up here at the beach. Vivid coming around the corner. He gets dropped, and there we have it. Paris got a little bit close toward the end. It started to inch its way out. Mutineers felt like they could eventually capture that point at the beach side, but never got the timing, never got the teamwork.
Paris Legion, they're just so aware on this map. Like when we saw Vivid make his way through the back, they know once that first player that's coming off spawn, once he spawns, you're going to be able to give all the information that your team needs to do. So once that player in Felony just came off spawn, they turn on and they pick up Vivid. They were just continuously filling the gaps. And also John, 17 and 10, he was being such a nuisance, always getting behind the players on the side of Florida. Need to have that same exact aggression going into this offensive round and definitely complete this 8 point.
Yeah, we'll see what the Legion can do. When we talk about Gavutu, it's all about who can get that attack. Can it be Legion? Let's at least see how the comm sound is. Look to grab the first attack here on this control. Let's step aside and go to a listen now with the Legion.
One shot, one shot. There's red. First guy, red.
I hear you. Alright, I'm trying to get mid.
He's P5, one shot. You can shot him.
Yo, ring stairs on me.
Dead.
Ring stairs dead.
Alright,
I'll go.
Top shot, please.
Top green break, he went to the hole. He went to the right.
Look at pinch beach. I'm pushing up.
Hey,
top boat. Vivid.
Looking at him.
He's in the middle. You see him, Tyler. You see him.
I know. He's Vivid our side. Top boat.
One shot, low cliff. Anyone help?
I'm looking at him.
I'm dead. Top boat.
One's there deep mid.
I'm looking backstairs.
No, one's there deep mid.
I haven't looked at his backstairs. I'm looking your right. Hold their hole. I'm looking your top boat. Mid tank. I got the guy tank. That was mid door.
Mid door dead.
Another one jumped out.
I'm coming cliff to help you. One was mid door.
Mid tank. Mid door dead.
We're good. Slow down.
It was Caesar. I'm gonna stop clock. Yeah, he's stopping clock, B. Need kills. Can't stop clock yet.
Working your mid in the hole.
Yo, we got time.
Some solid comms there out of the Paris boys. They've only got 10 seconds left. The comms are great, but really it's going to come down to the objective side of things. Your comms can be solid, but unless you're doing something in regards to the objective, it's never going to work out nicely for you. 7.8 still on the clock. Fellow doing everything he can to try and stay alive. The automaton up close. So we'll say goodnight to him. Decimate also will drop as well with the final few seconds on the clock. Nobody is going to be in position to halt the time. And the Mutineers, back and forth we go. Defensive wins left and right. And the Mutineers off of that will go up 2-1.
They're just continuously sending bodies at this ship's side. They're not trying to give up this 8 point every single time. And so far, Paris Legion have yet to capture either segment completely. So far, Florida are putting a lot of pressure on the map. Dave, Patty, Vivid, Awakening, all just stepping up with their aggression in their roles, making sure that they're just continuously getting those guys off that 8 point. And I'm pretty sure they were able to win that round by 3 kills. If I'm correct and my math is right, Paris Legion is still leading by 1 in the kill department. So if it does go to that round number 5, as long as Florida are able to outslay on this offense, they should be able to get the defensive side.
Yeah, that's a great call, partner. Like I said, you just want to see a solid round out of the Mutineers.
Start.
It doesn't have to be a win, but yeah, all right. Not the way that we thought it would go. Okay, Awakening gets dropped. That'll be 3 down in the feed, and Dave getting ultra comfortable for the moment, but Decimate there to cut him on down. So the Mutineers already stuck in a very precarious situation. It is 7-1 already here in this round number 4. Decimate, as long as he hangs back here behind the tank, I mean, the Mutineers, this is just what we talk about, Jay. If you don't win a few of these opening engagements, a team nade, and already things can get scary. Decimate up close, takes down 2, now sits on 4 in a row. And the Mutineers becoming a victim of Gavutu. If we're talking about lives for that round number 5, Paris look to have solidified it already. How about Temp now? Decimate and Temp both on a 5 spree. Could there be streaks? Skies at least is able to silence Temp, but Decimate, that will be the question. Really the only thing, the talking point for this round is if Legion can get some streaks. They will not. the Mutineers, for the first time, will see the objective over at A, and we'll see what they can do as the clock stops at 2.
They just have to try to get it. It's already decided that Paris Legion are going to have the defensive side if they do go to that round number 5. But Paris Legion able to get 3 dead. I mean, it's Florida able to get 3 dead. Get on this 8 point. First segment is going to be complete. And if you're Paris up by 7 lives, you're not really worried about stopping it at this point. You're playing for the setup. And they had the same exact thing happen when they were going up against Atlanta. They put them in that same exact trap. And now you're allowing all your players on your team to get pushed up through that beach side, which is only going to allow Florida to continuously spawn at Cliff.
The right call made from Legion. He said, don't want to throw lives at this. And a great 2-piece from John just further cements the live advantage that the Legion have got, up 21-12. On a map like Kabuto, a lot of opportunities where you can take advantage of the setup. Not only is John in the position that he is, but he's also got his good old buddy Temp, who happens to be in the backside of the flank trying to maneuver, change up a few of these spawns. Some great work coming in from the team as Dave will finally be successful in clearing out P1, but you can just see from the Mutineers end, a lot of work, a lot of things that have to get accomplished. They do get a few down, so we'll see what they can do off of it. 18 seconds on the clock. They will pause it there. And now it's all on to the Legion retake. We'll see what they've got as Skies now enters toward 5 in a row for him. Streaks, we continue to talk about it, could be in his future as well. Has to get on the objective. And will survive for the moment, awakening a major 1v1 for him versus John. John's able to take it, but Skies at least is able to earn a streak for his efforts. Paris jump on, they look for the contest, and they will be successful in claiming that up 11-4. The Mutineers will have to back up, and we've got ourselves a round 5.
Round 5, Paris Legion are going to be in the defensive side. Right there, once Paris puts you in that trap right off the rip, they go up by 10 lives, and you have about 45 seconds to work with to try to push that towards that 8 point. They're up by 7 lives, 21-14. They say, hey, we already secured our defense for that round number 5. We can just give up that 8 point. Let's just properly set up around this B so we do not lose this. And that was just beautifully executed by Paris. They did the same thing versus Atlanta yesterday. They dominated in the slaying department, which is going to allow them to have this defensive side on this round number 5, which you usually see a lot of success on.
I want to ask you, Jay, like I said, we've seen all about defense so far. Mutineers now being on the attack. How do you want to see them change up what has been a very, very defensive heavy game between these two?
It all depends on the start off. Like, you have to win a couple of these engagements off the rip, because if you go 3 dead, you're basically in the trap already. But Dave Patty opened up that first blood. Now you're going to have multiple players already at this ship area. And this is so far just, it's all about the start off. And so far, they're answering the call right here, at least open up with a couple kills.
It is a 2-for-2 trade, but as John stays here, a huge 1v1 there, gets the headshot versus Skies. Is John about to do this for 2? Is he about to go for the double? Vivid has to escape, and he'll manage to do so. John, terrifying inside of the boat. Might as well call him the captain. Great work so far from John, as he'll now set up for Fellow. He gets dropped. And finally, the Mutineers, a sigh of relief, a sweat off the brow situation, as now they have got some time that they can soak up that objective. 1 tick through now at A.
You have a couple players who are working towards some streaks. You have Skies, who has that strafing run in his back pocket. Vivid's also winning 2 huge engagements at this B point. So now Dave Patty, they're setting up to capture both of these. The second segment is about to come in at this 8 point. Trades going back and forth, but still, they have presence on both of these sites. If you're Paris Legion, you have to completely chalk A. You have to put all your focus on B. That's exactly what they're going to do, as Viv is going to be the last player here once it gets taken down. Even though they're going to lose A, it's time to put that setup on, push out towards ring, and continuously spawn them back Cliff.
Oh, John hops right in. He says, why not? Let's try for it. He gets taken down, but you got to respect the effort at the very least. John, a little bit of a heat check, as he's near and ever closer to 30 kills. The highest total right now in the lobby is Temp. Trying to distract the Mutineers, gets caught out in the back of the base. So minute 30, up 4 lives. The Mutineers, one of the better attacking positions that we've seen, but right as we give them props, they go 3 down.
Yeah, now Dave Patty's the last player up. He's going to drop, and just look at the spawns coming in from Florida. Fellow is going to already be in this position, could cause some problems. It's not for Florida. It's all about finding that opening kill. They find 1, they find 2. Great plays coming in from Sky to hit the rotation on the way back from that ship side to open up this push.
That's going to be frustrating if you're Dave, right? You see those two down, you're starting to push up toward beachside, and that's right where Decimate wants you to go. Skies runs right through an explosion, didn't look at it, but he at least calls out the strafing run. That streak will be big, and how about these kills? They're continuing to add on up. The streak could work out perfectly. It's at least causing somewhat of a distraction, and now Skies takes down one on the Temp. A few of the players begin to fall. John and Temp have gone big, but Skies staying alive in the back of the base, doing everything he can to look out for his rookie, who's going for the objective. Dave wins a fight versus Fellow, and now here comes the time. Stopped at 36, but could it be John to make all of the difference as he takes down 2, 8 versus 12? The Legion have got to be conservative, but they've also got to be careful. Skies is still picking players apart. Tim gets taken down by his own efforts. And with Decimate now for the challenge, only one more tick. Skies is staying up, as that'll be 7 in a row for Caesar, and he will put them to bed. Skies, a life to remember, a moment to remember, a highlight final moment. And he will be the difference maker on what gives the Mutineers their first control victory. And it's here on Gavutu versus the team that had yet to drop it.
That's insane work from Florida, more specifically Skies. He was able to work his way through the backside, finds one, finds two, and then eventually finds a third. They get a clean 4 dead, which eventually allows Vivid to get on that point. But then John finds 2 top rank. It's a 2v4 on this point. Skies and Vivid just went tremendous to close out that game right there. Unfortunately, Temp kills himself with his own barrel, so he's not going to be in the gunfight, but Skies just made the play to close out the game. Florida now up 2-1. Unbelievable work out of him.
I mean, just tremendous effort from Skies. Finishes off 29 and 18. I'm sure we'll be looking at that one again. I mean, overall in the lobby, right? Who leads it? It's John, 34 and 28. This continues to be his map, but even a performance like that was not enough for the Legion to extend their Gavutu control record to 3-0. A game 5 win here for the Mutineers. As we said, it had been 4 defensive rounds straight. Jay, I told you, or I asked you rather, what was going to have to be the difference maker? You talked about the opening break. It looked good, but specifically, it gets dicey toward the stretch. What'd you see here? What impressed you the most from Skies?
It's just his maneuvering to get his way to the back of the spawn. Like, he knows that even though 2 of his teammates drop right here, once he finds his first kill, it's all about slaying. He finds a second, and then you see number 7 slowly approaching that point, which was eventually Dave Patty. Now, John finds his 2-piece. There's only 2 players left on this point. But they somehow, someway finesse their way. When Temp kills himself with a barrel, Skies finds another kill. Now in the 2v2, you make these players slow down. But the biggest kill had to be taking down John on this top ring, as he was still slaying. But just, this is unbelievable work from Skies. On the point, the guy makes the play to win the game. Finds himself on a 7 spree, doesn't even need the kill streaks to close out the game. He just went absolutely bonkers to close that out. Now Mutineers up 2-1. Unbelievable.
Oh my goodness.
Man. Unbelievable.
He took the words right out of my mouth, partner. I mean, what? We literally saw a highlight. It was like a 4-minute highlight. I mean, Skies was live the entirety of the round. He got a great tour of Gavutu from the boat to the back of the basin jungle, then toward the beach. Unbelievable plays as he and Dave somehow, some way outlast the Legion and now promote themselves into the advantage, into the lead. My goodness, up 2-1. These maps have all been close. I mean, the Bocage 50-point game. We go into the search and destroy. Round 11, Skies gets redemption from the 1v1 loss that he suffers versus John. He goes big and gets the game 5 here for, or rather the round 5 for the Mutineers as they go up 2-1. Jay, I mean, what, man? What? Give us the definition. What has been this series so far? I don't even know what to say anymore.
It's been back and forth between both of these teams, but Florida, they just came to play today. That first map, Vivids and Skies, they were running the show. And then Paris Legion, they were able to respond and get their search and destroy. Very first one of the entire year, even though it was a 6-5, wasn't clean, they still got the job done. But then going into that control, Vivid, I'm pretty sure he was sitting at double negative. But Skies, he makes the plays to win the game. They got outplayed tremendously on that last map, and that's what Paris are known for. Going into a Gavutu, you want them to always be on the defensive side. They usually do not lose rounds like that. But the fact that Skies was the playmaker to go right to the back of their spawn, time the kills perfectly, and then even clutch up a 2v4 while his teammates are spawning all the way across the map, you got to tip it to the Skies, having himself one hell of a series.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you take a look at these numbers, 80 and 60 post that control that we just witnessed. A 1.33 KD as we're through 3 maps, and also 69% in that non-traded kill percentage. Just an unbelievable performance from the face of the franchise, the man who has invested in his game and then some. Sky's his 3rd year with the Mutineers. There's a reason why they rely on him so much. And again, Jay, there was a lot of talk, right, coming into the season. Sky's being in that flex role. How is he really going to play? How is this team going to mix with all of these change-ups? And at the very least, man, Sky's has been unbelievable. Puts up some great numbers on Bocage, solid in the search and destroy, but ultimately has his shining moment in the control, and very well could be the difference maker in this upcoming Tuscan.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this Tuscan between both of these teams. We saw Paris play it yesterday versus Atlanta. Wasn't really close. They lost by 100 points, but a majority of that came down to certain gunfights and rotations. If you're Paris, you have to make sure that you're beating Florida there and winning these gunfights, because we saw Vivid. He had a slow game on that last map of Ubuntu, but map 1 he had 46. I'm looking at him to have the strong answer here as well.
Oh, and we'll see the nice pre-nades off the rip for the Mutineers.
Oh,
It grants them the control. And on the non-favorable side, like I said, P1 on Tuscan, not a common one by any means, as it'll go 3 unanswered off the start for the Mutineers. Like we said, Legion with preferred spawns, you can get to P1 first. Doesn't appear to be that way. Looking at how the Mutineers have started off this game, 20 unanswered points, but finally, it's time for John to make somewhat of a dent. Awakening challenging to try to make things somewhat dicey inside of that middle alley. But great teamwork through our first through our first hard point, our first few moments of P1. The Mutineers have been perfect. The Legion begin to break on in, but Mutineers, they'll back on up and prepare for Column.
Yeah, you're not too worried about that if you're Florida. The fact that you spawn on the bad side and were able to get a good 25 seconds off this P1, now it's all about just holding these kills off the rotation. Vivid finds 2, Skies finds the 3rd. But look, number 2, he's actually going to be able to spawn in the back, so I don't know if the Florida players are going to be ready for this, as John is in a great position to cause some problems.
Oh, they are not ready for this whatsoever. Vivid ran right past them, not a care in the world. John hanging out on the tank, reveals his position, and Dave is definitely aware of it. He'll look to bait out some shots and maybe set up player number 8 to go big. Awakening turns on to Decimate, and now it's John's turn to pick up from where his teammate left off. The Legion firing heavy in toward the middle as John continues to make his way around the back, but Awakening and Dave Patty taking out the Legion. John doing everything he can to try and set up a pinch, but he's got nobody to work alongside with. The Mutineers eventually take him down, and they will continue to accrue some time. The final 10 seconds will belong to the Legion, but once more, Jay, it is the Mutineers off the rotation and with the spawns for next.
Yeah, even with John spawning in the back right there, Florida, they did such a great job of just applying pressure towards the front, winning a majority of those gunfights to not allow Paris to get any time off of that P2, and they were in the rotations to the money hill in P3. So now if you're Paris Legion, this is where the game can get away for you. You gotta try to break this hard point, because if you allow Florida to go up by 80 to 90 points off the rip, not even through the first rotation of hard points, they can start to get out of hand.
Yeah, think of this hill basically like the twin brother of Berlin P3, right? I mean, it literally works the exact same way. Some sticky spawns. It's not going to be easy to break this bad boy. His Decimate will learn that the hard way. Sky's picking up from where he left off. Now sits at 8 and 5. The Legion look to try and rally, but with 20 seconds left, they're thinking, hey, we might have to go for the rotation. The problem for them is Dave Patty is thinking the exact same thing.
Right now, Florida just a step ahead. They're winning these rotation gunfights. Dave Patty is aware of everything on the map. They're trying to, as they were able to get a full 60 on that P3, that's got to be frustrating for Paris Legion. You just have to put yourself in a better position. When you're always playing from the back foot, not rotating, it's going to cost you. And so far, they do have the rotation towards this P4, so they need a great hold here to try to get back into this one. But Dave Patty through the back trying to cause some havoc.
Some great work, unfortunately, doesn't check his right. Awakening is at least able to trade it on out, but you can see the Legion very aggressive. Both players hop outside of the hill. They're looking to try to find that. And how about Awakening taking down 2? That was 3 in a row. In the exact same bit of positioning. The Mutineers now with control inside of church. Everything's getting dicey. Decimate gets picked apart in the back. But overall, in terms of that score, the Mutineers only continue to see success as they'll reach 120. Legion have yet to even see that 40-point mark. Some great plays being made from the Mutineers, but with 10 seconds left, it will be the rotation at P5. They have been there first nearly every single time. But we'll see what the Legion can do, as they'll have to really gear up for this next hard point at Command Center. Let's step aside and go through a listing now with Paris.
Run away from me. Nice, good shit, Joe. Push it there, I'm Yeah, I need a blood. One got it here, yeah.
Oh, fuck, my bad. Just keep flying. Oh, one deep on me. No, bottom up. One deep on me. I hear you.
I have mid pinch. I got you.
Bottom up. JT, watch out. Fight him. The right corner on the stairs. Bottom stairs. Right corner. Yeah, right there.
He's pinching. Pick it up.
I hear it.
Go back up our side.
I send this side.
I got it now.
I'm closing the door. Yo, they're door now. They're door weak. I'm waiting.
Both one shot. One's in the door, one's on the stairs.
Yeah, two bottom stairs.
I'm gonna pressure this game.
Mid tap. He's on. I'm swinging you.
Yeah, got me. I got this dude, son.
I'm swinging you.
That's the only guy I knew.
Nice.
One shot.
Stun him.
You went their side.
I'm going to fight you, and I'm a streak.
Yeah, okay.
I'm watching over your mid right now.
I'm gonna play flyer side then for a streak.
I'm gonna shoot down.
I am.
Oh, it's going well. It's going well.
Alright,
Here, you have mid.
Hold on.
I can streak.
Mid, Donnie dead.
We don't have to.
I've already mid.
Mid alley, John. Go. Fight their side. I have all your mid.
I'll B2.
I need him their side. As well. I'm looking at mid.
To their side. I'm throwing it for you.
No, mid. Flood at me. Mid, Donnie. Blake, you in mid truck. Mid truck to you. Nice. Hold mid.
B2.
I'm needing him.
B2. There's 2B2. You still have to match.
Absolutely nice. Good shit. Can you help?
Hold my mid. I got it. Up. You go there so you can hold the cross. Joe. Actually, I can pick up Dave.
I'm one shot.
Let's go. Yo,
Cross foot. One shot, John.
You could go well on me.
Apologies called for the Legion, and it just seems they weren't actually saying a single word, because it doesn't appear that they're doing much in regards to the score category. The Mutineers are running away with this game. Jay, obviously we got to listen in to their communication. They just seem like they are in a flow, up 200 to 69. 200 to 69. This is a phenomenal start from Florida. This looks to be over already.
Yeah, those comms sounded like they were ready for war. Florida are not messing around today. They said, hey, that loss versus London is not us. 269. This has been an absolute slappage onto the Paris Legion. Every time Paris are rotating, doesn't matter. They only get 10 seconds on every hard point before Florida are able to break in. 206 to 69. Florida have the spawns for now, but with 30 seconds left, if you're Paris, you have to try to get this. But that money hill for P3, that has to be in your bag if you want to get back into this game.
Yeah, we'll see what Legion can try and come up with. They got a little bit scary there. This fellow had something to say about that challenge from Vivid. Meanwhile, John not having the greatest of games. A major slowdown there from that Gravutu. They'll have the final 13 seconds. And off of spawn, it was Fellow winning a huge fight in that 1v1 versus Awakening. And he'll also take down the second. So they get some time at column, and now they're prepared for fire. A much different story than the first set of rotations. It felt like they were losing every single hill, but now they're prepared and they're set up for one of the biggest in this game here in Vanguard. It's gonna have to be a full 60, my friend.
This is good work. At least good pressure coming in from Florida right up the middle of the map. You're gonna have a couple players that are just gonna work their way through P5. Awakening gonna use his streak. Unfortunately, it's gonna stick to the wall, so I don't know if it's gonna overextend to the backside. But they find 3 kills. They're able to flip the spawns, and with 30 seconds left, they're just getting closer to that game finisher.
Yeah, the fighter pilot looked at the score and he was like, I don't really need to do anything. You guys seem to have it pretty well under control. John dropped in from fire as the Legion will get some moments, at least to have some time inside of the hill, as they'll walk away with a big 2 versus 2. And those final 10 seconds, while they may be scrappy, will belong to them. Nope, not at all. Sky's not going to give them even that much to work with, as the rotation is in now here at Church, and it's going to take a prayer from Paris to make anything of this advantage. And they're all lining up. They're all lining up for Big Wake, as that'll be 4 in a row. Paris Legion feeling the pressure of a player of Big Wake's caliber. 25 points away from a victory here for the Mutineers. They can smell blood in the water. Legion, can they do anything? Can they really provide us with any sort of spree, as John doing the best he can to allow for Paris to get some seconds?
25 seconds remaining on this hill. They can still win it here if they can get on this time. The Paris Legion finding a couple of kills. That's going to be 3 in the feed. Last player here is going to be Skies. Once they take him down, they are going to be able to flip these spawns as well. So you do not want to allow Florida to break in for this junk time, because when you're this close to the finish line, you're playing for every single second. Because you know Paris Legion, they have to win. They have to focus on winning the rotation gunfights. So just getting closer and closer to that mark. But Paris Legion on the rotation towards B5.
Well, it's going to be perfect hard point. It's going to have to be from this point on. I know we say that every time, but it could not come at a more accurate time. Legion, everybody set up inside a command center. Temp trying to be prepared for a hit toward the back. And we know how this one likes to play out. Cook the nades, toss them in, and Decimate is going to get met with the nice nade there from Vivid. 2 more seconds. Legion have got to break on in. Is it going to come down to a clutch from Vivid? Despite the numbers, he will prevail, and the Mutineers will be successful. They turn around their performance after a huge loss versus the Ravens, and they get the job done here versus the Paris Legion. Their first win of the CDL 2022 season. A big dub for Florida as Paris once again sent home packing.
And that's a tremendous win for Florida, especially coming off of the loss that they took versus London. To come out and make a statement like this, to win 3 respawns versus a team like Paris, who were looking great in their respawns and not too good in their search and destroys. They came out and they made a statement today. Vivid and Skies really stepped up to a whole new level. Skies goes tremendous to win them that control. Vivid leads the pack with 46 kills in map number 1. And in this last map, like I said, it was a complete smoke show. Paris, they were trying to get back into the game towards the later half of it. But Florida, they were just in full control from start to finish. Every time Paris rotated, they were instant broke in the first 10 seconds. And Florida, they were so great on their holds. First rotation, they held down that P3 for the entire 60. That's what you need if your Florida Mutineers continue to go forward and get some success.
Yeah, man, as we'll take a look through the highlights, I mean, it's really all going to be about the Mutineers. I mean, they will look back at this tape and really make themselves quite happy. A solid performance, like you said, based off the rotations. But talk to me, man, just in general, level with me a little bit. Mutineers coming into this series, a lot of people were down on them, right? They were saying, hey, Legion, they look top versus Atlanta. Not much confidence in the Mutineers to come away with this game. Seeing the performances that we did from Sky, seeing the performances that we saw from Awakening, from Dave, from Vivid, his turnaround and the opening hard point, how much hope does that give you in this Florida team moving forward?
It gives me a lot of hope, but it's basically like the exact same Florida roster that we saw last year. It's either they're flying or they're dying. So if they lose that first map, it's usually the momentum setter for them. But when they come out and slay, that usually is the key to success for them to go out throughout the rest of this series. Right here, like I said, good bounce back. To come out and win that first hard point, 250 to 200, then to have such a close search and destroy. It could have honestly went either way. Came down to a 1v1 in the final seconds, but to have the ice in your veins from Skies to clutch it up in that control, because that was the deciding factor. That was Paris's bread and butter, but unfortunately they lose that, and then eventually the momentum swings in favor of Florida.
Yeah, it absolutely does. Some big games for the Mutineers. We're going to bring back in the desk, who, you know, there were some folks on the desk who were thinking Paris was going to walk away with this, but Skies says no. What'd you make of that one, Veli?
Yeah, I thought it was a great game after all, and off the back of Big Wake, 32 kills to close out the series. That was actually beautiful, but thank you guys so much for the beautiful commentary. Ali, you were also telling me in the back room that this loss that Florida had to kick off the opening weekend, we shouldn't really judge them too hard, especially from what we just saw.
Yeah, no, I think this attests to how good London Royal Ravens actually is. I don't think this is about how bad Florida was compared to what we saw from Kickoff Classic. I think this is a testament to London is the real deal, and like Zero said, they're trying to be a top 4 team by the end of the year. So for me right now, I think it's London Royal Ravens kind of T6, Florida a bit T8, Paris is still in my T12. I'm sorry, they've had some shining lights of hope, but again, they lost to Florida, which Nameless tried to say was his number 12 now.
Yeah, I mean, it's tough, right? They just seem to be so inconsistent. They're hot and cold. Today, they looked a lot better. I mean, we saw a big turnaround from Dave on that first map, Awakening map 4. That's what we're used to seeing out of him, and it was so nice to see Skies with the AR and the control popping off, because that's his bread and butter with that weapon, is when he's going on those streaks. And the teamwork and the communication was there. That was something I was looking at for Florida. Last year, the communication would fall off at times. Well, when Skies was up and behind him, the gunfights were being prolonged in green, and that boat allowing him to work it and get those kills and go on that streak. That doesn't happen without great comms and teammates playing their life. So clearly things were working well for Florida today. I just hope they can keep it up going forward and stay consistent.
And one thing that I'm really excited about right now is because the Game Fuel post-victory spotlight interview, we actually have Vivid Vivid on the line, and Vivid, man, that was such a big win. Look, you're looking good, you're leaning back, you're relaxing. First things first, how you doing? And second off, it seems like you guys really rode the momentum off of that control win, especially with Skies going crazy. Be honest with me. What were the vibes like? What was the conversation like behind the scenes going into that last match?
Yeah, the vibes were high. We knew that map 3 definitely like took a lot out of them. Like they could have won that, so we knew we stole momentum there and just rode it into map 4. We knew that we needed to close it out there, and not let them get any momentum back.
Awesome. And now I gotta ask, what is the dynamic between you and Big Wake like? Do you think you found your pace as a sub duo yet, or are you still working on it?
I mean, we're always gonna be working on it because you can always get better. But I think since I've joined the team, that me and him have kind of meshed well. He kind of is like more lurking, and I'm obviously a pretty fast player. So I just think we're always on the same page for most of the scenarios we get into.
All right, Reese, first off, congrats on the win. You're playing well. You look fantastic out there. But I got to ask you, what do you attribute the difference in gameplay today? Like, why did you guys look so much better than versus London?
The London match, we came out kind of flat. Like, it didn't really feel like a match intensity, and we noticed that right away. And like, we came in today saying like we need to bring more energy, like lock in more before the match, and we definitely had more energy. The comms were better. Like it was a different team.
Yeah, Vivid, you know what, man? That was a big win for you guys. So I'm going to leave the floor to you to talk to the fans out there. Let us know what to expect in the future when it comes to the Florida Mutineers.
In the future, definitely not expecting the same performance out of us on London. More of this series. We're looking to keep showing out for you guys and keep improving.
Vivid, if you can get more than 80 interactions on Bow Cage again, I'll personally give you $1,000. That was one of the most insane performances I've seen. Congrats, man. I want to see you drop more than 80 interactions the next time you guys play that. That was wild, man. Congrats.
I'm going to have to hold you to that.
All right, go ahead.
Vivid, if it happens, let me hold 20, man. Thank you so much. Hope you have a beautiful day. Finish out your weekend strong, and we'll catch you next time, all right? You take it easy.
Take it easy. Have a good one.
No problem. Ali, once again, you have killed it when it comes to these predictions. I don't know how you write all the damn time. It's kind of annoying, but I love to see it. So to pretty much put a bow on top of this whole match, I mean, how are you feeling about this and also heading into the Atlanta FaZe versus 100 Thieves game?
I'm excited. That match was a bit closer than I feel like I personally expected. Going up to a game 4 with Paris and John starting so slow. In that first hard point, I believe Plehold, he was 18 and 31 at some point. He did pick it up. I'll give him that. He picked it up in the search and destroy with those nasty snipes on Tuscan. But LA Thieves versus FaZe, man, this is probably going to be the nuttiest match of the weekend.
Yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, that's about it for the first series of the day, and we are just getting started. If you like a little heavyweight battle and a battle of the Titans, you got it coming up next. We have the Atlanta FaZe facing off against the LA Thieves. I can't wait to watch Kenny and the boys face off against Simp and that all-star squad. We'll see you guys on the other side of this break for some more CDL opening weekend action. See you soon.
Yo, what's up, Green? Yo, what's good, Green? What's going on, brother? What's happening, man? feel you on that, man. Today's just felt like so, like today has gone by so fast, honestly. I feel like the blink of an eye and it's already almost 4 o'clock. I'm sitting there kind of like, holy shit, man, today's going by quick. I kind of enjoy the fact of having a long weekend because of the snow and everything, but I'm kind of excited to go back to work just to make a paycheck. So it's one of those where it's like, hey, you know, make a paycheck, kind of have fun, you know, try to, you know, enjoy the new job some more, of course, but part of me is also like, dude, I just want to sleep. Like, I don't sleep much, so when I do get the chance, I just want to go to sleep all day long if I get there. Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. Alright. Yeah. Today's definitely gone by fast, though. Today is definitely gone by quick.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Zenny Gaming. Armor your eyes with Block's gaming glasses starting at $24 by visiting zenny.com/CDL.
Hello and welcome back to the CDL opening weekend, and this is day 3. I'm your host Veli, breaking things down. My favorite analyst is going to be Ali and also Nameless. Now, Ali, I feel like the people at home are going to love this matchup.
Absolutely. I feel like this matchup will truly solidify, you know, the level of competition we have in the CDL this year.
Yeah, big time. But ladies and gentlemen, it's about time to go ahead and get things started. But before we do, Nameless, man, are you happy for this?
I'm happy, man. And we also have 2 of my favorite Brits, Bryce and Ton, and neither one of them can beat me in hand-to-hand combat.
What the hell are y'all doing here, man?
Dude, come on.
Unreal. How are you going to introduce us and just lie straight away?
It's true.
Any of us in hand-to-hand combat. It's entirely the reason they brought more British people in, to just bring your ego back down the side.
Yo, Bryce and Ted, it's great to see you guys back on the screen, man. It's been some years, you know what I'm saying? Get your butts over to America, but first things first, I love you guys. How are you doing, and how excited are you about this matchup between Atlanta FaZe and the LA Thieves?
You know what? Truth being
go
told,
on, you go first.
God, I'll go first on this one. It's a weird one. It's a weird one because for the first time in quite a long time about Atlanta, I'm not sure where they sit in my power rankings or anything else. Like, it feels weird just going even slightly against Atlanta in basically anything for the last 2 years. But in this one, like, my gut is telling me that Thieves may be the better team.
Oh, Tyne, how you feeling, man?
Look, honestly, I don't know if FaZe is just sleeping a little bit, but I'm also a little bit worried for the rest of the competition. I don't know if this is just giving them the motivation to get back up to that level, but so far, they've looked nothing like what they have done last year. So, yeah, I'm waiting for them to awake, and when they do, I think it's going to be a problem. But right now, they're looking a little slow.
Well, curious because both you guys have been watching Quality from home, right? And now we finally got you on the big screen, baby. Bryce, lay it on me. How excited are you for the 2022 CDL season?
Oh, super excited, to be honest with you. Obviously, you know, I played Call of Duty esports, and coming into another season is always the highlight of the year. And realistically, the competition looks tighter than it's actually ever been. I know obviously nameless power rankings are never quite right, but I don't think they've ever been this wrong. And basically that does mean that we get to watch at home and don't know who's going to win, which always makes good viewing.
All right, Ton, I'm gonna need you to step up on this one. Give me a hot take for the season. Do you think a team is gonna rise up in the standings big time? Do you think a team is gonna fall? What are your expectations when it comes to this year?
If I was going to go hot take, we have to go Queen and Country and say that London are going to be in and amongst it for winning an event potentially. They looked so good in some of their games, and I think, you know, especially for me and Bryce come from challengers last year, we've seen it and we've kind of been shouting at everybody to pay attention to challengers in Europe at this moment in time. You get 3 players in there from the last year, of course. Afro, Gizmo, and Nasty come up with Trey. They look like a good outfit. If they can get things rolling together, we've seen yesterday that they have the potential to beat some of these really, really good teams. So yeah, interested to see how London are going to do. And it's nice to have a team you're able to root for that are actually doing well, because it hasn't happened for a while, to be honest with you. We don't get a shout out very often.
The thing is, you won't just be rooting for them. Starting next week, you guys will be commentating with us for the CDL. Congratulations. It's good to be back together, baby. Welcome to the fam. And other than that, thank you. We'll see you guys next time, all right?
I do. Thank you, bud.
See you next week, boys and girls and Ali.
Thanks for the insight. Nameless, I'm going to see you and Bryce have that hand-to-hand combat. You know?
Oh, man, he's a big guy. I was kind of trolling.
I was gonna say, I got $100 on him. That's a big dude. But ladies and gentlemen, on the other side of the break, we will see the match finally come down and happen. You guys know what I'm talking about. Atlanta FaZe and the LA Thieves is going to be a banger. We'll see you all on the other side. You take it easy and see you soon.
Been a little too nice to y'all. Now I gotta up price to y'all. Snake eyes on dice for y'all. Shoulders on ice to y'all. A6 all the hay. I won't get involved today. Got lost in the ball and eggs. I'm flipping the bars. I'm flipping the.
Obtain.
Simp and the boys from Atlanta FaZe are looking to really turn things around this season. They got a big dub yesterday after a close game, but Ali, when it comes to the game fuel keys of victory, they're really going to have to step it up big this time to beat the LA Thieves.
Well, you know what? In the last 2 maps we saw from them yesterday, it was a little bit more like the Atlanta FaZe we were expecting to see. You know, it really was Simp and Alec taking over, and Alec is one of those players that once he's on a roll, it's really hard to stop. And this roster, they are all capable of going on 2 sprees, 3 sprees, 4 sprees.
Yeah.
So I think as long as they come in today with the fire from the last 2 maps yesterday, they should be fine.
Yeah, and we also saw Celium have a couple big games in the Search and Destroy. Celium went off, and then RCD's in the game too, Search and Destroy. Like, these are guys who are capable of taking over at any moment. You can never count them out. I know some people are saying FaZe doesn't look as good as they have. Well, they could turn that switch at any moment. So for the Mountain Dew game fuel keys to victory for Atlanta FaZe. Also, they did dial in their hardpoint breakoffs. Paris outscored Atlanta 50-0 on Tuscan and 42-0 on Gavutu first hills yesterday. That's not okay. FaZe should be coming out the gates frying with the sub pressure that they have. You saw some people talking about the Simp and Abizi sub pressure. I think it'll be back on point today, and you can see their KDs as well, 0.89, 0.87. They're capable of way more than that. Simp led the entire league last year in overall KD. We just haven't seen it so far in this game. And then Control was their bread and butter last year. It was the game mode that they won alongside Search and Destroy in like every single series. They have to fix that. On Gavutu, we've seen when you have to put an AR in either Abizi or Simp's hand, it doesn't work too well. So they're going to have to figure out a way to win Control, especially if they're going to be playing a map like Gavutu.
You're absolutely right. And ladies and gentlemen, it's about time to get things started. And with the matchup that's just hotter than morning breath, these two are going to be very lucky to cover the gameplay. Miles and Chance, go ahead and take it away.
Dude, hotter than morning breath. I've never heard that before, but now I'm thinking about it and it's certainly staying with me. Pumped to get into this one, guys. This has been something we've been talking about for a while. Excited to see these two teams go up against each other. It's the Battle of the Reds chance. Like, FaZe maybe not looking as hot as they should be at the start of the season. They're a little slow, but Thieves, man, they're coming in clean after kickoff.
This is what makes this matchup like extra interesting, right? It's for the past 2 years, any Atlanta match that I cast, I'm like, yep, Atlanta's probably going to win, like almost assuredly. Not the case this time at all. Thieves have looked like the better team, and this is also the best Thieves have potentially looked since their debut in the CDL. Also, a very fun set of maps and modes that we have, specifically because we get Bocage in. I think a pretty important talking point, at least for the Atlanta side of things, is they've been constantly banning Berlin, which means Gavutu has always gone through. Not a map they have had a ton of success on, but Bocage has made it in because, well, Thieves actually like to ban Berlin as well. So I think it'd be interesting just to see if Simp and Abizi, again, that duo on an SMG map can fry, but that's a long way away. We got to start with Tuscan. Or keep in mind, Thieves right now 5-1 record overall in Hardpoint. They might be the best HP team in the game.
They got the reps, and so far they got the kills. That's all 4 members of FaZe down. You're going to find that time. LA Thieves, an opening start that they will certainly be going back over and remembering. That was a treat to watch. There we go. Time their way, Envoy with 2. We will touch upon, of course, the game field keys to victory for Atlanta FaZe a little bit later on. But those kills just keep coming, Chucks. I mean, it's Sim's birthday today, and Kenny has put him down in church. Not the gift he was looking for.
I mean, happy birthday to one half of the mini monsters, right? But, you know, Kenny, he will just happily take all of your joy away on the day. And as far as the rotation goes, there's 2 players for the Thieves potentially causing problems. Octane at least trades himself out, but Envoy has made his way through. FaZe very quick, but it doesn't look like they have any idea. And well, Envoy strikes. That's 5 for him. Eventually gets taken down. It looks like for the Thieves, no one else is going to be close enough to try to make an impact play off what Envoy is doing. You group up, you take your time, and you try again as a full 4-man squad.
And here's the hold now from Atlanta FaZe. We'll see how long they can keep this one going for. Cell on the back. Players all over the front side, and Abizi winning his gunfights on the left-hand side of the map as well. To the point now, and it's Arstees went on 4 sprees, managed to turn things around in a nice way, trying to find a few more kills here as well. As Kenny on the approach, Abizi's going to get that one, so Street's still within reach for Arstees, but he needs a few more. Still, a decent hold out of the LA Thieves so far in that first hardpoint. Second, so far, so good. Atlanta FaZe bringing this one back slowly but surely, Chance.
And maybe one more fight for this scrap time. Draza flying in, but just flying into death. And you see the idea from Thieves, maybe not put too much pressure on the hill, but try to make sure you stagger the push from FaZe as you're setting up on the rotation. But for the moment, FaZe winning all the gunfights. Abizi's able to pick up 2, and right now, Abizi is the only man potentially that can make a play on this rotation. Effectively a tied-up game, and, well, Abizi gets dealt with. Thieves, they've got the full setup. They're looking to make this a money hill.
Yeah, see, they can do it now. Here comes the push from FaZe. Through the window we go. Kenny's going to find 1. Can't quite get the second as well, but you still have hardpoint time being accumulated now. LA Thieves back in it on 3rd. Draza winning the fight on the south side of the map. That's all him through the middle. Envoy wins his. So, FaZe stunned. Pushed back for now. Left side of the map, that's where they're going to be coming from, towards that top. And through P1, they're going to push. Envoy's got mid-map completely covered. If anything happens, it's going to be on him to maybe find 1 or 2 out of this. He checks every corner. Hats off to him, but it's not quite enough to get it done. The next line of defense is Octane, and he's in the hard point. He's finding time, and it is back and forth chance between both teams early on. But I will say, LA Thieves, they got in that first point, they got into the 3rd, and they're still holding the line right now.
Yeah, and right now it's the SMGs running the show for the Thieves, but a gunfight like that, we've talked about it quite a few times. That is Abizi just stripping away 10 seconds at his one moment. A one-on-one gunfight that can have long-term impacts, but we got to get there first. Right now, a 42-second lead for Thieves. Again, they are trying to work together as a team. It's all 4 players making the push around the point, but they're getting chopped down one by one. Abizi now he goes hunting, finds Octane up top, takes care of him. In the first push, just going to get stuffed. FaZe trying to claw the way back in this game is, honestly, it's just been a hill exchange, right? You win one hill, we'll win the next one.
It's a lovely thing to see in this kind of contest. And Abizi's starting to heat things up. Draws it downstairs, though, finding the kills. Abizi, number 5. Abizi, 6 as well. Nice stuff from him. That's going to be the strafing run in the back pocket. Sent down to pick up the pieces immediately. And all of a sudden, the church is looking a little difficult. This is not what you wanted for the LA Thieves. A break through the front is possible, but they need to start finding the time. 20 seconds remaining on this point. A chance we go back to that scrap time from P3. If you lose this game by 10 seconds in the Atlanta FaZe, or even within that realm, you can literally look back and go, hey, man, I wish we grabbed that scrap at the time we did. That was the difference maker. Keep an eye out on that throughout the Vanguard season.
And keep in mind on the minimap as well, Celium right now, number 1 on your minimap. He's got the bottom left, and yesterday that was his wheelhouse. The pressure is going to be on him straight away, and he gets taken care of instantly. The Thieves setting up the push. It's the flank from both sides. Kenny, the first one in, is going to fall. Now it's just the line up, though. The entire squad. It is the flood through the front. And it looks like so far, FaZe deal with it. It's the stun grenade to finish that last guy off. Again, the first push stuck on the defensive hold as FaZe has started to run away with this game.
And FaZe starting to run away with the game. They've got this hard point. There's 30 seconds remaining. Let's go for a quick listen in with LA Thieves and hear them break P5.
I'm MC is under. I'm fine, it's fine.
After this outside. Sell our window. Arm mid. Alex mid. I got one time. That's MC. Yeah. Hey, push out left. Fire. Alright. Good time. Mid lane on me. Mid lane. Alright, let's break some mid here. I'm to mid. I'm helping you. Front of window, easy. One shot front of window. Absolute front of window. Go mid lane. Mid lane. Alright, I'm gonna pinch church. I'm hold her. Alright. Mid lane. That's fine. I got play outside, brother. I got play outside. Alright, I'm home. Top maps. I need top. MC top church. I don't need top. Alright, all time and MC top church. Dropping it on. I push this. That's on me, bro. That's you. That's you. That's you. I'm looking in the mid box corner, bro. Mid box corner. I'm mid box. I need help. Alright, hit twice. On the ball. I can help. On trade. There you. Nice. I'm dropping it. Drop in. I got it. Mid lane.
Coming back into the scoreline now, a second set of hard points, and chance we're all evened up. LA Thieves managed to take the lead back now after a sweet force spree from Kenny. Is this the Thieves starting to get things going?
I mean, think about it like this, right? Like, obviously the comms pretty much on point. They're making a lot of little plays, but you had Kenny that had half as many team kills as he did actual kills, and the game was effectively tied up. He goes on a spree, and Thieves, well, potentially might be able to take things over. Going over towards P2, though, Kenny, that is his 5th kill in a row. The next couple ones, though, on the point. His teammates not winning in gunfights. And once again, P2, this is where, well, FaZe got, 50 seconds to last go around. They are set up once again for what seems to be, the 4th or 5th lead exchange, potentially, we will have in this game.
Yeah, we like that, though. An exciting Tuscan hardpoint. Kenny still on that 5. That's not going to be the 6th either. He loses out on that one, so streak's still to be had. As the kills start flowing through as Atlanta, they're looking fine, but the final moments there's going to be a clean break now. As LA Thieves, with a little bit of time to be had, you still have the Atlanta FaZe members spawning quite close. Unless something crazy happens now, all of them just burst out of RC there. The whole team just came out of on top of that squad spawn, so backside of the map is still going to be all Atlanta FaZe. They're going to find the kills, find that time, but 10 seconds out, already thinking about third. Left-hand side of the minimap, LA Thieves, that's where they're going right now. And if anything, for FaZe, yeah, sure, you get that scrap time, but it's now the journey across map they're going to need to get. That could be another 10 seconds there for the Thieves.
And this is the start of the push, though, right? You see the Thieves with the setup. They have everything covered, but the pressure coming through. P5 Jaws is there first. He picks up 2. Kenny delivers. And if you get the 4th, well, that would make everything free and clear. Varsity is now the sole man on the bottom side of the map, but Thieves, I think they're ready for it. They got players top broken and number 5 Octane posted in the back. They're ready for the pressure to come on this flank. Sim wins the first gunfight to at least strip away some time, but the trades for the moment are in. Thieves still alive in the hill, and Kenny again on a 5 spree, trying to clean things up.
Self flies through, just gets 2. There's another one to be had here, and it's Octane in the 1v1. This is a big kill if you can get it. Cooking a nade. Finding a few more. Time going the way of Atlanta FaZe now. Shoes on the other foot, 170 climbing, but they still have to take the lead back. Big shots once again. BZ's there on the trade as well, and it's 3 for Cell. 3 big kills indeed. Now looking back over towards Church, the last time round it was a little crazy, but this was a back and forth hard point indeed, and it is going to be the LA Thieves in first. Now, we will see for how long they can hold it. Arcites has already managed to make it into the back.
Wait, yeah, watch the spawns, by the way. Number 3, everyone on FaZe is going to fall. They should spawn in the back right on top of their teammate. He at least gets 1, and there's the 2nd with them. Thieves, though, they're reading this pressure. Draza is prepared for this moment, wins the first one in the hill, can't quite get number 2. The Thieves, I mean, credit where credit is due, just to try to read those spawns, but the reason spawns are OPs because you get there that fast, and FaZe break on in as we're getting set up. I mean, again, nearly tied game for the 6th or 7th lead exchange potentially that we have had. An incredibly back and forth game.
Back and forth we go. The Trojan horse of Arcites now managed to spawn his boys close to the hard point, and as time there's kills back and forth. And again, I say back and forth, it's only one-way street right now as Atlanta FaZe. That's going to be all 4 down. They're going to take that time, and that's a huge amount of time this late in the game. Have to look at the rotations again. Back over to the 5th we go. That tiny little room, that tiny kill box. Get your nades ready, friends. There's no trophies today. This is going to be a mess going in the 5th.
Oh, Envoy found the timing as well, just to get through the steps, and Selim should get traded out, and that is a clean wipe. Sympho on a board. He has had a slow game. This is the time to try to step things up. He can't make it happen, and the bait might be there for one teammate, but Thieves, the hold so far is strong.
Still holding it now. RC trying to be the cutoff. Still got the time going the way of the LA Thieves, getting closer and closer. On your screen now, Octane finding nothing but kills. Here's the play now from Kenny downstairs, trying to keep the hard point in the hands of the LA Thieves, and it is just been stripped from them. LA Thieves still getting pounded all over the place, and it is non-stop here in P5. Draza, can he find any more? Yes, he does from downstairs. Hardpoint flips again, sells on it once more. It is non-stop. And again, looking how tight that scoreline is. Rotations come to mind. You have to try to get every second you can here, and Kenny wins it. If he can get this 1v1 as Arcites, no, he can't. That's 10 seconds that could go the way of the other team. Envoy's off spawn now, he's got it. Scrap time's being grabbed over to P1, FaZe in the driver's seat.
Hey, look at the setup though, right? You got a player on Godheady. It is 3 players stacked up in and around the hill, and Arcites can watch over the middle of the map. You get one opportunity to break Thieves. You got to go now.
It's got to go now. Through the mid, 3-man hit, 5 seconds to go. BC finds one, only to be traded out. Oh my God, Octane, he's the last man up. He manages to get in there in time. There's no one around. BZ kills Simp with a straight front. RC's now flying, go. No way. LA Thieves. Oh baby, what a start to the series. And that is ridiculous.
Yeah, for a team that came into this 5-1 overall on hardpoint again, Thieves making a statement, potentially the best hardpoint team in the game. The record now 6-1, and with a game as tight as that, I mean, we were trying to call it out as like the game was going through. All of the little plays, right? Abizi chowing out to get rid of 10 seconds of scrap time to strip that away from the Thieves. And that 10 seconds, by the way, he did not want to collect. You also have moments where Thieves did it twice, where they're chowing out P5 just in the final 10-15 seconds, fighting tooth and nail for this scrap, trusting their ability to make these breaks. And I'm telling you, man, little plays like that are gonna add up constantly in the matches that are high octane. And I think we could actually go back and look at it. I don't know exactly where we're starting from, but again, Thieves were happy to fight for P5 towards the end. They wanted to put themselves in this situation because they trust their breaks, and it was everybody stacking up, taking their time. Everyone got set up as well before they actually made the play. So Thieves right there, teamwork on point. The flood is timed so well, and you hit out both sides of you. And obviously an unfortunate streak that takes care of Sit, but he gets Kenny with it. It's more of just the coordination in the end from the Thieves, taking care of business with a 2-point victory.
It is insane to think as well, like, you know, you've got Envoy holding back P5, right? The rest of the team, everyone runs forward, gets in a position and holds it. If anyone dies then, the chances of them spawning on Envoy are relatively high. I mean, it's kind of a 50-50. You either spawn a little close or you're on the other side of the map to him there. So that's huge. So LA Thieves, kudos to those guys. 2-second victory there in the first on Tuscan. It was an absolute treat. Desert Siege, S&D coming up next. But chance first, our game fuel keys to victory for the LA Thieves. And I think winning by 2 seconds probably wasn't on this.
Well, again, they had the best overall point differential in hardpoint. Again, that's why I keep touting them as likely the best team in the game. It wasn't quite 49 that time, but hey, a W is a W. And Envoy, whether or not he's the playmaker in search, he was popping off, especially throughout the first half of that hardpoint. He was making plays. If he can carry that into map 2, they should be good to go, because I think outside of Kenny right now, the S&D for Thieves individually, they haven't quite been on point. I know Octane's been making some plays with the sniper, but I definitely am expecting more out of the SMG duo for the Thieves when it comes to the game 2 and game 5. But it's really just respawn on point, right? Thieves, they have been machines. They look fantastic after the kickoff, and well, it certainly seems like they're fantastic so far in stage 1 as well.
Traded kills and traded deaths again. No one's getting away alive. You know, if you're tagged up on the other team, there's a very good chance that someone from the Thieves is going to fly in, get that one extra shot on you, and take care of business. But that's a great start for the LA Thieves and a wonderful indicator of how close this series will be, friends. We hope you're enjoying the show so far. Desert Siege search up next. Now, we remember the highlight reels from Kickoff Classic. Of course, we saw big snipes out of Octane. Kenny and Draza both going wild, and Envoy, the route man, flying all over the place, doing everything he can. But looking at the stats as well, Chance, I mean, I'm not sure if it tells the true story of what to expect now coming up into this Desert Siege.
It's, yeah, I mean, again, very earlier on as far as like the stats go, but also very comparable between the two teams. I mean, sure, I think the first blood percentage phase, if they're that on point, it's always a little bit scary. You know, Beezy, when he is at his best, he is without question like the highest impact player that potentially we've ever had in Search and Destroy. He is a first blood machine, but it's close on both sides of the board, with the exception of the plant percentage, but I think that just comes down to the maps that you play. We're going to Desert Siege. Obviously, we're thinking about the snipe show. We know what Octane can bring to the table. I can't wait to see the sim counter.
I mean, we're going to see it. We're going to see something here. And this is a really exciting matchup again, because we saw Desert Siege played yesterday by Atlanta FaZe. We were on up against Paris. That was exciting to watch, like from start to finish. So I don't know. There's a little bit of tape out there, of course, for the LA Thieves to be working on. I mean, who knows, man? Who knows? There's no idea where this one's going to go. It's been non-stop. As Brycey said at the start of this one, was like, you can't predict anything. The teams are all good. The game is very fast. No one has a clue what's going to happen. You can't really predict it. You know, last season there were times with like, this map's going to be a blowout, this series is going to be an absolute blowout. This time round, we're still learning. We're still all accumulating data. And Atlanta FaZe, they're a team that does that exceptionally well. A lot of people worried that, like, you know, they've fallen off, that maybe this is the end of the dynasty. No, it isn't. Relax. Chill out, bruv. Behave. All you need to be doing is knowing that these guys are in the lab and they're working their asses off to make sure that they are the most dangerous team going into this year, because no one wants to fall out of that top 2 spot. Sim's been in the grand finals of champs now, what, 3 years in a row?
Yeah, I think the worst Sip has ever done at champs is get second. So, I mean, that's not a terrible thing to have happen, right? 2 rings already. So, not too shabby at all. Obviously, there was another stat that came out for Simp where he's never lost double-digit series over the course of the entire year. Like, at most, he's going to lose 9. So, funnily enough, the one loss they had in the Kickoff Classic, you're just taking one on board. That just means they win more later on. So, FaZe always a dangerous team. Whether or not you have them at first in the power rankings now, at least in my mind, it's almost an expectation that at some point they will get there, but maybe not if a team like Thieves comes to play, you know? Best team Octane potentially has been on in the past few years. Actually, without question, the best team he's been on in the past few years. So, you know, he's ready to go as well.
We will see. Get everything's ready, friends. Slight technical delay, obviously, getting us into this matchup. Desert Siege, Search and Destroy, very, very close. We're almost ready to get into this one. And Chance means Snipes, we know smokes have been taken care of. We won't be seeing those for a fair bit. But Snipes have been exciting to watch indeed. And can you break down for the fans maybe at home who's worried about, like, you know, not hitting shots, or maybe the snipe player on the team not getting the biggest KD, why that's not necessarily a bad thing?
Well, I mean, I don't even know where to go with that. To be
it's like, phrasing it this way is like, you know, a sniper doesn't always need to get kills to be influential.
It is. I think Cammy on Tuscan against Seattle from the Kickoff Classic is probably one of the best examples of, like, once you have a guy starting to find a groove and actually hitting shots, the other team is forced to play around it. And if your guy's hitting shots, it's not easy just to try to, like, snipe back. Because if you lose that gunfight, that might just cost you the round. But it's very much of you get lane dominance when your man's on point, and it forces everybody just to make the adjustments. Like on a map like Desert Siege, if you have a guy just locking down one of the lanes with a sniper, I mean, now your SMGs are going to be forced to just play towards the middle of the map. It can be that much more difficult to actually go and get a bomb down. So it just completely changes the way the team on the bad end of things has to orchestrate their gameplay.
Here we go, though. We're finally into the matchup. Atlanta FaZe, LA Thieves, map number 2 now. Slowly but surely, we're rocking and rolling straight in the mid. Atlanta FaZe, they will be in the red. Of course, LA Thieves and the white arrows. They're on defense first and foremost. And that opening blood from Celium makes things a little bit easier now. Atlanta FaZe on attack. You've got Draza still real close to that B-bomb site.
And they're taking their time just to play for picks. Octane, well, he was able to spot out 2 players. They know the pressure is going to be coming over towards this A-bomb site. You see Kenny now wrapping to the back corner of the map, and Draza probably playing with the top, and Octane finds the pick he needs, and he spots the second player up top.
Oh, Sim.
Sim might have the information, but I think I like the adjustments. They're thinking about a flank.
Ian and Beezy upstairs now. They've got eyes on. They can maybe make the play towards that B-bomb. Octane trying to make something happen here. Kenny does find Cell as well, so now it's a 2v3. Simply inside. University it is. Shout out Lando. Go to the B-bomb site. We go on the defense. The bomb's down over by A, though, Chance. I mean, that is way out in the middle of nowhere. It's 25 on the clock. And Atlanta FaZe, they're patrolling mid. They're keeping an eye on it. Sim's going to get another one. He gets away with his life. And he and Abizi roaming together. They're going to be so close. Abizi's got to stay alive, man. 15 seconds, and he's brought down finally. Woohoo! But they were running as a gruesome twosome there, man. And that little dynamic duo, if they stay alive a little bit longer, that round changes. You have to recover bomb. You have to plant.
And it is an interesting moment, right? Like as soon as Octane gets that bomb down to the outer side of the map, there's a couple teams not too big of a fan of smoke. Smokes are perfect for covering a line of sight to go pick up the bomb. FaZe not able to do that at all. So despite the fact that they got the first blood, bomb drops in a pretty rough spot, and they were quite able to find the kills to make up for it. So Thieves, strong round. Octane doing what he does best. As he has a AR battle with Celium on the outskirts of the map. You're just fighting pixels.
Cell's way deep. He manages to get one, and I mean, he seems to be doing fine against those pixels. Gets himself a second, and Octane backs up, try to help the team as they're in trouble. A bomb is down. Octane's trying to get that recovery, but still, it is not an easy thing to do as Sim guns up, ADS on the door. Here comes Draza. Wow, okay, we'll take that kill, 2v2.
That bomb's still down, though, in the worst spot possible. Celium has to know this. He is still going to be posted up on the bottom right corner of the minimap. And RCs can play as deep in his spawn as he wants. I mean, the game will tell FaZe when Thieves have picked up the bomb. There is no reason for FaZe to make any sort of play on the map at all. And that's why Arcides has just found himself. I didn't know the map went back that far.
Yeah, he can keep going, man. And there he is, way deep, finds the kill. Draza down the 1v2. This kill's great, but there's not a lot of time left. He's gonna fly at him, and I respect it. But that's another great round. As Atlanta FaZe now, they're gonna tie things up. And again, you're kind of hamstrung. Like you're handcuffed essentially, man. You can't do anything once that bomb goes down. If the enemy team knows in a rough idea of where it is, you pick it up. The game tells you. That changes the way teams have to play on offense. Like if the bomb carrier dies early on, you're at a tremendous disadvantage.
And that really is just Celium again. I think almost every single round on defense, he'll be playing almost the exact same spot, and for good reason. He just murders people when he's over there. So if you can't handle the Celium issue on offense for Thieves, if you can't counter snipe, if you can't find a way to get that bomb down over towards B, maybe you have to go a different direction towards the middle of the map, though. Draza delivers with the first blood.
Yeah, first blood's nice. It was almost a second exchange there, but everyone's going to get away with their lives now. Pasties, ooh. Could have been heads there. Sim has been so patient so far. Great awareness. Octane completely caught unaware, and he's going to grab that snipe. And oh my word, Chris Lera with a snipe on his B-day. This is something now. He's got himself to this round. Backing on out. Can hear the shots. Draza from that top position. He's going to be tangling with Arcides. And Arcides with that bomb now should be planted. And here we go. Chance 2v3. Thieves going to have to retake.
Well, Celium, you got watching the full flank. Simp, he's got the outer angle covered. And honestly, he could just go play the trenches. He has the snipe in the back pocket. He's going to pull it out as well. But before he can get the kill, Arcides takes it from him. But honestly, as soon as you get that bomb planted, as soon as you get that sort of trench control, you're feeling great about the situation that you're in. And it was Simp that put them there. I'm not entirely sure what Octane was doing with the sniper. On top of that ledge, playing very aggressive, but Simple thank him for the free kill that he got, and he turned it into 2. Just aggressive plays from the birthday boy coming out. One half of the mini monsters, man.
We're going to let rip soon, and let me tell you. That Children's Hospital is going to be very happy. Nice stuff for Octane. Early tags was slowing down, pushing back. Not really making any much of an effort there, but A-bomb site looks to be the target for now. A pick would help the Thieves in this position. The little dance around mid-map is going to make things a little bit more exciting. We'll see. As FaZe, all knowledge that Octane with that snipe, they're going to now move their way through mid, and Sim's getting real aggressive. Here comes the stuns, though. Envoy, will he be able to find the pick?
They should know he is in here. That is a brand new angle, though. Can't quite find it, and he gets caught. Envoy there. Nice positioning. So Thieves able to get that first blood, and again, just a pixel fight we have. I think Arcides probably saw the diamond, like the name tag, and was shooting at that. Well, everyone falling one by one. Celium for the 1v4. Best of luck.
Dashy's come close, but no one's actually done it yet here on Vanguard. And here's our attempt. Okie dokie. LA Thieves, good round.
And funnily enough, you were asking about like the impact that a sniper can have. How about the impact of Celium? Like he's been so on point on defense over towards that back corner. Thieves just stack up A and instead play for picks. And honestly just a couple of unfortunate situations for the players on FaZe, right? Simp shoots, tries to get out of train. Well, Envoy there just to catch him. Arcees shoots at a diamond, can't quite find the kill. The trade instantly comes in, and players effectively just falling one by one. But just to tie things up at 2-2. Bunch of offensive wins we've had so far.
Yeah, man, it's been a lot of fun. And Celium, he's using the Force, I believe, at this point in time, just trying to see if he can feel anything out there. Doesn't feel a thing.
So you get the bomb down for free?
Gets the bomb down for free. There we go. So A plant, here comes the retake. It's going to be a fast one, hopefully now for the LA Thieves. Stuns are good. Is anyone close by to get it? Draza may have seen Abeezy's little feet get over the wall there, but that first blood on a Envoy, that's a big one. And here we go, 4v3. FaZe with the numbers.
Ooh. Oh, they got the corners as well. Simp uses that spot to watch the flank. Octane has to do something impressive, and well, instead gets hunted down and cleaned up. I gotta say, that might actually be one of like the most effective strats. What Celium is doing, he's wiggling around his automaton, just looking for auto-aim through the trains. Miles, I don't know how many S&D tournaments you've watched, but Demyansk, when that map was played, you could get auto-aim through like the entire rock face. So the strat was to go top church on defense, try to get auto-aim through the rock, and if no one's there, you know exactly where players are going. So you can genuinely just get all the information you want right at the start of the round, and FaZe taking full advantage. In another offensive round, FaZe got that 3-2 lead.
Who knows what a smoke grenade could have done in that situation? Maybe change things a little bit. That's a nice opener from Octane. But it's in the game. That's going to be 3 down. Arcee's last one up now for Atlanta FaZe. Playing it slow. Playing it from way back. B-bomb plant. Let's see what he does. Nice throw. Oh, we saw the glint for a brief second. 35 now on the clock. Oh! LaRue with the jump shots. We'll take that round 3-3.
6 for 6 on offensive rounds. And hey, if Celium has been a problem in that back corner, I know a great way to deal with him. Just snipe him. Easier said than done, but Octane certainly makes it look easy. A couple nice shots coming through, and I think in terms of the snipers, obviously it's been a big conversation in Vanguard. Most of the time, like, it's fine. It's okay to have occasionally players using it have like costed. The only 2 players in my mind that have really stood out is, again, Cammy on the one map on Tuscan and Octane on Siege has been a menace. As you see, Thieves, they don't want that A plant to come through. They stack it up, but they get caught. Simp finds that first blood.
Yep, first blood. Quite an easy looking one as well. We saw it for a brief second there. Okay, Cell's getting involved as well. It's a plant from Arcees now by B. Speedy retake. The tight angle to hit those. Cell's just going to keep cutting these players down. Arcees, I mean, this is the easiest round FaZe could have asked for, man. They got that opening pick, and after that, they fell apart. Thieves fell apart.
I think Atlanta, right? It was what, the round on before when they were on offense, they just like had the bomb planted at A in the first 15 seconds of the round. Thieves stack it up that time. Not only does Simp find the kill, but the bomb is just in a completely different spot. So FaZe mixing things up. More dominant rounds on offense. I think we are 7 for 7 for offensive round wins. Actually, that's not true. FaZe won one on defense earlier. So what am I talking about? Maybe 5 for 7 on defense.
That's still pretty good. Kenny Draza, start things off with a bang. 2 down. Mini Monsters say bye-bye. Cell and Arcees now. Playing from the extremes of the map on either corner. Almost gets it. Octane now looking to take care of Cell. He will escape off into the desert sands for the time being, and your boy's shooting pixels. He's not doing a bad job at all, but here come the Thieves. And this round is done. There is no way, with the bomb down, he's going to do anything from that position. He is out there on an Oasis, and okay, we'll take that kill, but there is, I'm saying it, there is no way. 20 seconds now. Nades waiting for these players. They're not going to feed him. They know he's on a spree. Unless they do feed him, in which case I'll be slightly disappointed, but for 10 seconds now, we should close this one out. LA Thieves, that opening picks there from Kenny and Draza really set the tone, allowed that bomb to go down. That is that.
Yeah, I've given up on trying to remember how many rounds have been won on offense because I don't think it's all of them, but I've second guessed myself, so I'm scared to throw out a number. But I certainly know that when you're starting to get these opening picks on offense, both of these teams have been on point with making sure you get those conversions. Someone trying to break the mold as we go into this next round. I'm actually very curious as to see what Thieves do on defense because Atlanta, they've hit both bomb sites. They have gone both directions very quickly. So Thieves are going with just the full spread, trusting both Octane and Kenny, the ARs on the top and bottom side of the map.
That's a nice pick.
RC, just beams him, takes him down, opens up the site instantly.
Yeah, it's so hard now. We've seen how difficult it is to retake this bomb site. Like, you have to cross over the 50-yard line and get behind them. And right now, that's going to be the plan. Octane's going to be that guy. Deep flank right now. Arsty's up close on the bomb. Tags in Envoy. Easy pickings. Arsty's finds his second of the round. Octane now last player up, and he's on the deep flank. He's got a lot of corners to check. Uh-oh, and he's got a snipe. This is a weird one. I mean, one with the rat's enough, but he was right in the middle of Atlanta town, and they had him covered. That is now map point phase.
Yeah, in Atlanta, I mean, they're speed running their offensive rounds effectively. RCDs just finds the pick on Kenny. Again, it was a map spread for Thieves on the defensive side of things. As soon as you get the kill, plant the bomb, and you are good to go. Retakes on most of the maps we have, maybe outside of Bocage, are incredibly difficult to orchestrate. In Atlanta phase, picking them apart one by one as the round continues. Must-win round for your LA Thieves. They're going to A.
They're all going away. They're going aggressively. And if they can get these kills quickly, they might be able to overwhelm FaZe here. Here we go, though. Nades up. FaZe now on the flanks. All over the place, and they're getting kills. That's two of them. That's going to be a sweet opener. Cells on the 5 now. Not too far off streaks. If you can get another one, streaks on this map are very important. Obviously, very wide open. Cells on the hunt for it. Octane backed on up. Kenny manages to get over towards the B-bomb site. And that's a big kill there from Octane on LPT. Bomb drops just outside of A. Kenny gets one as well. So now it's a 2v2.
2v4 into a 2 versus 2. That bomb is still just dead on top of A. Sim's playing corner. She's working with Selim. And again, you just know the bomb is down. Right now, you could just play a corner and wait. 35 seconds, and I think Selim, he got spectator. One of his teammates saw him, got the call out, finds the kill streak is well. Octane now needs to get the 1 versus 2. Doesn't have the bomb. Time not on his side.
They're in the court with him. Oh my word, Sim almost got it. But Sim was behind him upstairs. He just dropped down, finds the kill. It's a shame, but it is the round for Atlanta FaZe. Hope for that 11, but that's it. FaZe bounce back. Search and Destroy continues to be the bread and butter for that squad. We're all tied up 1-1, and Chance, man, how about those offensive rounds?
It's the smallest things that make a difference, right? Like the smallest decisions you're making, like in the hard points of when you fight for scrap, when you rotate, really min-maxing, same thing. The details make the difference in that S&D. Just the nade coordination. Like RCDs plays aggressive towards A. As soon as he realized that's where the pressure is coming, he backs down, and I heard like 3 stuns and 3 grenades all go off right on top of the site. You get the bomb down on A, you get the first blood and the second that falls as well. Little things like that put FaZe on top.
Yep, really do. 6-4 there on Desert Siege Search and Destroy, and we go to our control map now. And mate, it's not a bad run. Not a bad run at all. We've got ourselves a long series. This could get very, very interesting indeed. Highlights now from the Search and Destroy. We got a little bit of everything. Some flanks, some sweet nade kills, and of course some snippety snipes. We will be seeing all season long. Chance, what do we make of the highlights?
Just efficient work on offense from FaZe, I think is the primary story that we need to be working with, right? It is different plays from different people. We had RC's finding the first blood, boom, instantly bomb down towards A. Had a round a couple before that where Simp finds the first 2 kills over towards A. You get the bomb down, you're good to go. It really was just dominance on the offensive rounds. FaZe consistently able to find those picks. And again, in that final round, just breaking the mold, reading the push that was coming in from Thieves and playing off it pretty well. Just a very solid S&D game, honestly, from both teams, but FaZe get that 6-4 win.
Yeah, they certainly do. A couple of big old gunfights go their way. That was the final kill in the map there from Sim. And again, there was an opportunity for the Thieves to pull that one back at that round 11, but hey, man, his birthday. He definitely gets the little bit of love from the COD gods today. Tuscan Control coming up next. Bocage Hardpoint, we should see at the very least, but we'll see if we get ourselves to all the way to that Berlin Search and Destroy. For those of you who are with us through the absolute marathon that was yesterday's games, woo, baby, it was something special, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we get a little bit of the same today. Very, very exciting matchups still to be had later on. Of course, we've got ourselves Optic versus Rocket. That's going to be a banger as well. Non-stop action here in the CDL. We're going to take a very, very quick commercial break. When we come back, it's Tuscan. final kill in the match. Special, and I wouldn't be too surprised if we get a little bit of the same today. Very, very exciting matchups still to be had later on. Of course, we've got ourselves Optic versus Rocket. That's going to be a banger as well. Non-stop action here in the CDL. We're going to take a very, very quick commercial break. When we come back,
you get the.
Here we go. So I'm gonna tone. Getting at 7. All right.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by Game Fuel. Victory in a can. Tied up 1-1 in the series, Atlanta FaZe and the LA Thieves. Now we find ourselves Tuscan Control. Chance, we've had a lot of fun so far in the series. Of course, a 2-second game separated these two teams, and the first Tuscan hardpoint, LA Thieves coming out on top there in an exciting bit of search and destroy. And Kenny, get that yawn out, son. You got 3 big rounds of Control to win. You want to see yourselves in that Berlin search and destroy for that game 5. This should be a fun one though, Chance. Excited to see how this all goes down. Of course, Atlanta FaZe, they've definitely been putting in the work. We saw a great series of them against Paris Legion, a bit of a stunner there as they go to the full distance to game 5, but they do come out on top. So this is a team that you can still never count out. Anyone who was hoping this to be a 3-0 smoke show with the LA Thieves coming out on top, you're crazy. You're absolutely crazy.
Crazy indeed. I mean, I think, at least for the side of FaZe, again, I don't think anyone is under the belief that they are anywhere near their peak for this game. Pretty much every single team has plenty to learn. Again, even from the Tuscan, that's a 2-point game. I'm telling you, it is going to come down to like min-maxing different like hills and when you want to push for a scrap and how much time is worth it. Like the analysts for all of these teams, I think this year especially so, have their work cut out for them. And even for a Tuscan, I think I've been seeing Carson's been putting out stats of like teams, at least on Gavutu, are like 0 for 8 for winning rounds when they go towards B on the attack. I think Tuscan is not quite as extreme, but a little bit similar of like, it's rare that you'll have success going to B. I think Ravens, though, obviously proved that, hey, if you could make it work, though, good opening break can win you the round, but Thieves right now, nice and standard. Get to A, and, well, they get there first, so Droz gets the first 2 kills.
You see the opening execution for both teams. Oh, my word, Arsenal's going to get that one. Everyone's got their preset nades and stuns already. It's early on in the season. It's going to be exciting to see how that develops. Draza, holy dooly. What did he just do there to Abizi? Flying, staying alive. Can't take care of Cell as well, though. A zone started to slowly get depleted. Draza really was the body blocker there, keeping the members of Atlanta FaZe at bay. But they have to worry about Sim, though. He's in your spawn. He's causing a problem. Draza's going to cut him down. That's going to be the numbers now starting to thin. Atlanta FaZe, they are still on the defense, trying to hold this one down. FaZe will be dropped now finally on the A zone. Thieves cap that one. 4 they go now. B is all that remains.
All right, Draza, by the way, he came prepared, like ready to play on this match today. If you go back a few seconds and watch when he spawned, he basically spawned up on broken steps, and he's like, oh, that means someone flanking. Instantly 180s around and is ready for Celium. So this is a team that, again, they know the game so well. Draza finding another kill on Simp, and, well, that means your push. You can get ready to start. Kenny can't quite win it. And that might slow things down for the Thieves just a little bit.
Hey, man's cracked, but that little bit of strafe speed there from Arstee's just managing to stay alive. As here comes the wind-up hit, though. And Abizi, though, he's going to try to slow this down. In from behind, manages to catch the one out. Onto the zone we go. The contest. Abizi on the prowl. Finds another one. Backs up Simp. They get the kills. They wipe the LA Thieves off of the B zone, and now it's head on a swivel. They're worrying about any players that may be behind them, but they do get the final count there. Now all eyes forward. Here comes the counter-attack from the LA Thieves, and lives rather, are relatively even.
And you got to go back to the same thing, though, right, Thieves? I mean, any player that falls is just going to slow you down so much. So you have to be on point with your coordination. 2 players coming out of P5, and they at least get the trades. So they have a man advantage just for a few seconds. And Envoy, he is flying as it's happening, but all of his teammates fall. Now he's in between 2, and the push gets stopped. You get maybe 2 more attempts, but FaZe right now, they have just been swarming on defense like a bunch of machines.
Draza once again winning a ridiculous 1v1. As is tradition, he's been doing it since kickoff, and definitely one of the players to watch now coming into the 2022 season. Cell, last pull out for his team, now close to the point. The AR of Varsity's overlooking the tank. You got Simp on the crossfire there, so let a couple players through, lay the trap, and hopefully find those shots, and he does! Cell gets 2. That's another delightful hold on the defense here from Atlanta FaZe.
In all these little moments, like so many players for Thieves, it is like the opportunity. Like if you just win 1 extra gunfight, you can start making moves, but FaZe have just been too strong on defense. The trade's on point, because this has been a very close game in the kills column. But any gunfight like that Arcitys wins makes it that much easier to hold on defense. So Thieves, they're taking their time. They have triple stacked up towards Radio. Wait for a kill to fall in their lap. Draza, he gets the first.
They finally get in, but Celium now from top plat side. Oh god, this could get ugly real fast. No, Draza managed to win it again, but the trades are on point. Kenny now, can you break the wheel? Can you finally end this cycle of push, die, repeat? 15 seconds on the clock. Still trying to stay alive, waiting for the reinforcements to show, and he will be able to hold it for a moment. Here come the boys. 10 seconds now. Watch that clock spin out. Gonna have to make a move real fast. Could it pay off now for the Thieves? No, the kills are there. Got to jump on. No lives remaining. And it was a worthy attempt. You saw the thought process being there, but Atlanta FaZe, wave after wave after wave of kills. They found it. They kept the point safe, and that's their round.
And just great work time and time again. Even the moment towards the end where like the stun doesn't connect on Kenny, but Abizi's still ready for the gunfight. I mean, they had a couple just well-timed flank. RCD's had quite a few just big one-on-ones. Like if Octane or Kenny ever opens up the push towards that hill, taking out the AR in the back, well, maybe you're able to string something together on offense. By the way, B-hits, I said they're not often successful, but when you make it work, it's clean. FaZe, all 4 pushing through P5.
Here we go, they're flying. There's at least 1 down, 2 down now as FaZe. They're going to find the kill advantage. Into the point they go, but the crossfire from Octane, beautiful shots. All that left is Cell, and he's stunned up, tagged up. Great defense from the LA Thieves off the rip. They did not have the numbers, but the pace and the shots managed to make it that bit more manageable. Here we go, back over towards A as the final kills towards the B side of the map are cleaned up, and it is actually all going to come down to Draza. But Draza's looking fine at 12 and 8. Locking this one down before the squad can show up.
And the reason why it can be risky to actually go over towards B off the rip, because if you don't win it and you start getting spawn trapped, like even capturing A can start to become a little bit difficult. Now they still got pressure towards the hill, but Kenny takes it down, so it is risky. Like you get gifted A for free off the opening break, but if you throw that away, things might get tricky. Simp though, the fast flank coming through. shoots Octane in the back for free, and that's enough kills that now A almost assuredly will be secured by FaZe. And now the question is, how many kills can you get along the way? Easy, he is sprinting forward.
Yeah, still trying to keep those players back. Slow progress though, A. No stack just yet. Stack not as prevalent as it had been in Cold War. More players on the point means to capture that one faster, but they're opting for more map control. But here comes the final stack. Third segment now on its way. Gone. Force spree for Abizi. Can't quite get Kenny. Oh my! And that's great kills. And now that final segment of A is going to be drained. The defenders will win out. That's a massive play there from the LA Thieves.
B's wide open though. You get all those kills, but look, you just spawn him over towards roof because he pushed up too far. So if you can capture the B zone, you're feeling great about yourself. You got a couple players pushed out towards the back. Draza has important gunfights. He's waiting for his teammates to go for the push. Well, there's the first. Now you've got the swarm, but 2 players still alive. That is 1 tick through. And they're going to stack it. That's the second tick gone. If you get B first, I mean, FaZe, they might have a way to win this round.
An incredible turnaround now. They're still holding it, still have the numbers. Here comes the counterattack from the LA Thieves. They do clean up B, but you got to go back over to A now. Get on your bikes, boys. Run across. Kenny's going to be the only player there. If he wins a 1v1, that's great. A zone gone. Atlanta FaZe, they live to fight another day. 1 minute extra to the clock, 11 lives apiece.
And this is delicate. I mean, you got players just now scattered across the map. Flank opportunities for both sides. AR players that need to go big. Kenny responsible for watching the back, but selling. He might be cutting through church. He's repositioning to go over towards teammates. I mean, you have a minute to set up one good play of beams like that to open things up. This might be their moment.
Cell should be dropped here with the trades. Oh no, sorry, take that back. It's like the FaZe now. Forward they go. 1 segment of B left. 6 lives to the LA Thieves. Over the top they go. They're starting to wear him down, starting to find the kills. Octane can't win it in the back. No lives left. 51 seconds on the clock. Frozen B should be captured. That's going to be the kills coming through in Atlanta FaZe. They win on offense. Both zones captured. That is a massive, massive turn of events.
So Tuscan offensive rounds so far across the league, you can win offense. It's been 34% of the time. 7 of those have just been done by kills, and now that makes number 7 for actually winning on the objective. But I think it really just comes down to that moment. Someone for the Thieves pushing up aggressive after they get the clearance towards A, but no one is there to cut off the players, so everyone spawns up on roof, and they just had a free path over towards B. And I think the LA Thieves, I mean, you just have to have someone at least in radio before you can play that aggressive.
Draza.
Speaking of aggressive, Draza finds 2.
Super aggressive, finds 2 immediately. Can't get the third, man. Oof, I was expecting it. The seam has spoiled us when it comes to these kills by Church. But second segment at A gone. A zone has been cleaned up. And Envoy, very unfortunate timing there to just lose sight of that FaZe member. But he's still in behind, and this is potentially very damaging in the long run for Atlanta FaZe.
I can't tell if FaZe are actually where. No one's actually watching their back, so I think Envoy actually does have the tried and true opening, but RC shutting everybody down. He ticks up 2, and Envoy still isn't popped up in the kill feed at all.
Yeah, they
FaZe still aren't turning their attention, but he's got to make a play at some point, because now you see Celium. Now he's more concerned about it, at least a little bit. They know Envoy's in the back finally. He makes that opening break.
He does. There's the kill finally. And again, you count those players, you look at the kill feed, you go, okay, we have no idea where Envoy is. Somebody turn around. And that's exactly what you do. Frankly, you should do that anyway when Envoy's in the game. But for now, if you're a BZ, you find 2, you push out those players, and you slow the approach down from the LA Thieves. 21 lives remaining for Atlanta FaZe, and it's going to be 23 for the LA Thieves. They're on the offense, still trying to make their way in towards B. They've got a couple of kills going their way now, and a little bit of space to work with. But again, they want to do this together. They want to break as a team.
Again, these opening gunfights just on the hill are incredibly important. The ARs have struggled a little bit for Thieves to get it started. You're getting the kills traded back and forth, but I mean, you're just going to end up in a 3v4 fairly quickly. Envoy, though, he's flying. Whoa. The subs are here. They find a couple, and now they're trying to push out that spawn. They get it done. Each of the SMGs picking up 2. And now not necessarily looking for the spawn kills, just keep him trapped in the back. Envoy, the next one in line. 2 players in front. He's got to find at least 1, and he gets dropped. FaZe, their defense, they have been on point. The flanks are there, and they have cleaned their house out. Constantly on point on defense.
But what an incredible answer to what was a brilliant break from the LA Thieves. The kills don't go their way. And Sims on the flank, way in advance. Here comes a few more, maybe. Shots out of Crestlair will be dropped by Draza, though. Still an opportunity to keep back onto the point, though. You've got 11 lives left for Atlanta FaZe on the defense. 14 now for the LA Thieves. Man, this is a tense Tuscan control chance.
That's a team kill, by the way, that's just not going to help. Again, it takes maybe 25, 30 seconds to actually set up the push. And, well, here's the next one coming. 3 players through P5. Kenny looking through side church. Abizi up top. He's getting shot at by 3 people and hunted down. Kenny's there to find him. That's the opening kill, but the trades are always there. Selling down low. It's just trades on trades on trades, and you're trying to get your SMGs pushed out once again, but it is so difficult to get this set up. 15 seconds left.
So hard. Again, no trophy to save you from all those throwables. And here we go. Draza towards the point he goes. Not able to get the kill. Teammates still in position, though. Envoy's playing it safe in a corner. He lives for a moment before being traded. That's time. That's going to be it. Abizi with a final kill.
Able to win on offense.
Yeah, it's hard, man. I mean, even looking back at this, it was a decent effort across the board from everyone. LA Thieves, sadly, will pretty much almost all go negative aside from Envoy. But hey, man, not an easy play to be made there on Tuscan. Atlanta FaZe, man, that was watertight defense at times. Even when all 4 of them go down as well, you get forced back into your spawn. You have to deal with those players in that close point by column. It's so they did such an impressive job of not losing any gunfights. Sim goes on that immediate flank in that final round. They played that defense perfectly, man. I mean, that seems to be the gold standard right now. Not to mention the fact that they won an offensive round as well. Tuscan control. Atlanta FaZe just showed us all how to do it.
Well, I think if anything, I think Thieves showed us more of how not to do it on defense, right? Because the only reason that the offensive round was really even won, it just came down to no one actually wrapped back through church or through their back spawn to worry about B. You spawn them out roof, and then they just end up getting there first. So it is very much a map that it's easier on defense, but if you mess up, you will instantly get punished. And I think Thieves, that'll certainly be something to go back and watch in the VOD and maybe try to figure out the exact details of what the case may be. But other than that, the story really just consistent work on defense from FaZe. The flanks on point, the AR gunfights when they needed to win them, they got them. And I think, honestly, it's sort of similar to the search and destroy for FaZe of, like, they're just playing sort of standard, just clean Call of Duty gameplay as far as Vanguard goes and taking care of business.
We saw what Arsty's sitting on that back tank position, also the back truck position, just posted up, watching the radio push. He was there for about, I want to say 40, maybe 50 seconds, just on top of that truck right in front of us there, finding those kills. And not a lot you can do when you're LA Thieves, one of the finest ARs in the league. He's got his ADS up and the gun's down on you. But that's going to be a wonderful turn there from Atlanta FaZe, 3-0 in the control. We will now move on to another hard point. And man alive, it's going to be a Bocage chance this where this is going to be nuts, man. I mean, we want to see Atlanta FaZe on this map, you know, run rampant against other teams. We want to see, I mean, really, we really want to see LA, also we want to see Atlanta FaZe go up against Seattle Surge on Bocage hardpoint. That is going to be the absolute, you know, chaos, the fiesta. That's what we're excited to see. But for now, LA Thieves, we'll see what they can bring. Of course, a 2-second victory in that opening hardpoint on Tuscan was very, very exciting. But Bocage is an entirely different beast, Chance. What do you make of it?
I mean, I think FaZe is a very high candidate for being the scariest team on this map. We've only seen them play it once, but it was the first map that they played in the CDL. They went against Seattle, who, keep in mind, Seattle looking like, what, top 2, maybe the best team in the game, and FaZe destroyed them on Bocage. It was like a 250-150 victory. If you're winning by 100 points, again, that might as well be a 100-point club for a map like Bocage. So they were terrifying, and I think a lot of the commentary or the analysis I've heard from the FaZe side of things is like, don't play Gavutu. Like, it is not necessarily something that is fitting to their strengths, because if you have the best SMG duo in the league, get them on the SMG maps. That is what Bocage is going to be, and I want to see exactly what the Tiny Terrors can actually pull off. I'll make my donation later, but it'll be fun to see if they can put something together, or if Draws in Envoy can sort of keep their slang up.
We'll see. Again, these two teams go. I totally forgot about that Seattle Bocage match from kickoff. Again, that was crazy, man. That was an absolute blowout. I literally wiped that from my memory because I was like, wow, Seattle did it. They won the series. It was dope. But now here we go. LA Thieves pull this one back, one map at a time. Get us to that game 5. The ideal, of course, we want to put on a good show for the fans. Again, we send nothing but love our way to Octane, for those of you who came in at the start of the show, you know what we're talking about, and for the rest of the team and the entire 100 Thieves organization, you know he's getting a lot of love and support from those guys. We love to see that. We are truly a big old family here at the Call of Duty League. But France are almost ready to get into this one, and a few moments now for the teams to pass some words of wisdom before we get into that matchup. And before we do, let's take a look at Celium versus Draza coming now into this.
And honestly, I think Celium is a pretty good player to bring up because obviously, yes, the SMGs are a pretty big note, but if I remember correctly, and it feels almost a little bit faded to say, I think FaZe for the majority, or at least half of the Bocage, ran a double AR setup. So I think a lot of the commentary is like Celium can actually get craft. He can absolutely, like one of the best flex players, if not the best flex player in the game. He can run whatever gun he wants, but even on a map that's this fast paced, I think that he spent a lot of time with the automaton and obviously put in work with the gun. So this would be fun to see exactly how FaZe do, because again, the hardpoint record overall, not the best, but the one they had on Bocage, it was a spectacle.
We'll see if they can repeat the spectacle for us today. Here we go, map number 4. Right off the rip, opening kills. The gate hard point, not an easy one to hold. There's a lot of avenues to attack, and so far, all of those avenues covered by Atlanta FaZe. Their early time is going to be dead.
4 down, instantly you flip the spawns, now you get the cutoffs, and again, right, at least for the moment, for this hill, for the opening break, the double automaton setup coming out of Atlanta, you get the setup that they want in 20 seconds on P1. I mean, there has been so many P1s of Bocage where neither team is able to get 20 seconds like combined for the lobby. But FaZe, not a bad start at all. Still 15 seconds they're thinking about fighting for. And right now, Abizi, he's gonna get it. 2 kills for him. His teammates have rotated. This is the dream of a start right now on this map.
I mean, this is starting to get dangerous. Over to the second hard point. We go towards tanks, and Atlanta FaZe already in there. You're going to see Envoy now try to hit the flank, but who's all over it? It's Abizi. You know this player's tendencies. You don't check the corner. Abizi's going to get it. The trade's going to be there immediately, but still the damage is done, and the alarm bells have been rung. You know which way the LA Thieves are coming from. Can they overwhelm the hard point? Yes, they do. Beautiful stuff. But back at it we go again. Envoy, last player left up. Here come the quick reinforcements, and it is non-stop action here on Bocage. Hard point still unoccupied. The kills feed, though. Back in red and white we go.
And again, just to continue with the absurdity, there are plenty of teams that at times will be running a 4 MP40 setup, and in FaZe, they have to be the only ones that go 2 and 2 like this, because I think Celium has kept it out fairly secure for the final 30 seconds of this P2. Kenny might be trying to make a play just to get the guy off it in the final few moments, but he gets caught. FaZe have done their homework. They're prepared for this, and this is a phenomenal lead. We're 2 hills in, and again, this is the dream right now for Atlanta FaZe.
You set yourself up for victory when you let 2 of the finest submachine gun players in the land roam. Sell with the sweet shots on the Draza there. Envoy with a pickup. Here comes the hold now from Granny's. Third hard point in the rotation, and LA Thieves have got it for now. Octane down low. Draza upstairs. Spawns through mid. They're going to be trying to finding something. Abizi, through the front door we go, and here comes the break. Atlanta FaZe are finding the kills, and Thieves, they may win a couple of fights on point. The spawns are still close enough, so you've got to try to deal with these players as and when they fly out of spawn. LA Thieves holding it down still. Got to get a player back in the point, though, as once again, Grandma's, it is a party down there, friends. Absolute chaos ensues.
They're getting all the cutoff kills, by the way, Atlanta is. You saw Arcity's actually flooding around the back just to try to be that guy. And it seems like even through the chaos of the trades, Atlanta putting in work. Look, this is the team in my mind to study, I'd say, for the Bocage, right? They do it differently than everybody else. And right now, I mean, they're setting themselves up potentially for another dominant win. I know we're only 3 hills deep, but they're looking different.
They're looking very good indeed. Final few seconds going to go the way of the LA Thieves. They have yet to really accumulate any hardpoint time in any of the points we've seen so far. It's all been scraps. Back over the barn. Next up, and it's going to be Atlanta FaZe in there once again. Draza, what have you got on the approach? Trying to find at least something through the back, and he's playing it slow and sensible. A couple of shots, there's the first, can't get any more. His teammates are on point. Atlanta FaZe once again win out, and who is it? It's Abizi, and it is Sim, and they are non-stop in the kill feed. They are winning the fights up close and personal, where you love to see it. Let's see what the birthday boy is going to say for himself with a very quick listen in with Atlanta FaZe.
He's back half full. One time. You shot Travis. Yeah, I'm gonna stay out. I'm at time. I'm looking mid. I'm trying to. He was secret. Behind me, back door. Back door. Yeah, try to make sure one left.
Oh, yo,
I have behind.
Sam is right.
I have to get time off, right? I'm gonna get time. Bring it up. They're gonna be our main shit.
Samo's back right.
I'm trying to get time. I'm needed.
Yo, I give you a right.
One more gate. He jumped out. He's already on street. I'm on street. Child me. Another street. Child me. Get street right now. I'm trying to get it. Stay on time. Push up. Go. Pinch. He can kind of go deeper.
You can push up. You can push up.
Frantic comms chance, lead still developing. They've got a lot of control, and I mean, I'm just trying to piece together like the absolute pandemonium that is this map, and what the best way to really hold these kinds of points up.
I mean, honestly, I would just say that's a clean rotation, right? Anytime you're hearing in the callouts your team telling you that you need to pick something up, and you got a guy like Simpy like, nah, it's fine, I already got that. That's when you know that your team chem is on point. When multiple guys are thinking ahead of the game, but for the moment, Kenny, maybe trying to heat up just a little bit to fight for this little bit of scrap time. The final 10 seconds should go their way, or maybe not. The nade coordination is there just to strip away that extra little bit of time. And they were min-maxing on Tuscan. If FaZe is putting things like that together as well on Bocage, again, at about a 60, 70-point lead for the moment. Now we go back to the mixiest hill of all time in P1, where Thieves, they're here first.
They're in first, and they're holding it for a while. That final kill there from Sim's going to stop it for the time being. But again, back to it. Cell from upstairs now. Eyes on. Kill feed looking good for the LA Thieves. And again, they're still trying to play for that top side of the map as well. So accumulate as much time as possible. All good. Cell's going to spoil that for now. But again, they keep that top side of the map covered. They get that rotation. And man, if once again, it's another clean 4 down as FaZe, this is all their time.
And just so quick on the rotation, RCD's already in it. You can just see Envoy like sprinting into it because he's used to the timings being a little bit different. It's got to be tricky to play against a 2AR setup on Bocage. If they're the only team that does it, like how can you be prepared for how much differently it plays? And they have such a ridiculous setup. Selim is pushed out all the way towards this like top tank. He's shooting all these players for Thieves and calling them out as they push into Barn. But FaZe isn't giving up those back left spawns. They have so much pressure on the map that, I mean, they've almost found a way to organize the chaos and slow the game down and buy these guys in this P2 hill so much time, though. A couple big gunfights for Thieves to get the players out. And Draza on the flank. The break might be in, but only for a moment.
And the spawns are good for Atlanta FaZe. Have they somehow managed to bottle lightning here on Bocage? Cell with a close push as the clock starts to tick away, and LA Thieves are still stunned, unable to really make a dent on that scoreline. Here comes the push. Couple of kills now from the LA Thieves, and they have been wiped clean once again. It's a long-range fight there, the little bit of help from Octane at distance, but not enough to really get on the point, and it's RCT soaking up that time. Thinking about rotations as well, 15 seconds out. There's no way you're getting this scrap time for the LA Thieves, but they're going to try to play for Grandma's, and Abezi's there, and he's making it hard for him.
And look, Miles, I'm just going to slow this down and just think long-term on a map like Bocage. Like, it has almost been a meme from the pro players about how crazy aggressive it is and how flood-heavy. And again, how many different teams are running a 4 SMG setup? Well, here you have Atlanta FaZe. The first time they played it, they took down Seattle in dominant fashion. Again, Seattle has been playing incredible so far. Right now, they got a 100-point lead, dominant once again, and they're doing it in a different way. I don't know if they're trendsetters or if they're the only kind of team that can pull this off, but when everyone's been complaining about a map like Bocage, FaZe apparently, or maybe have figured it out. I think it'll just be fun to see exactly how this plays as the year goes on.
We'll see. The kill feed once again, just all dominant. Atlanta FaZe. 200 points now crossed. This is it. Match point for Atlanta. 50 more seconds is theirs, and they walk away with the win today. Final contest now towards the bottom side of Grandma's as they're looking across the map towards Barn, and it is going to be LA Thieves in position to hold it for now. Envoy, a couple of kills going his way, and this is all right. Bit of work, keep them back, trying to find the kills, keeping the members of Atlanta FaZe as far on that right-hand side as possible. And have, oh no, not anymore, number 4's out. There you go. That's going to make things a little bit difficult as he spawned from behind. Simp's going to now cause some real problems for the LA Thieves.
Yeah, that is honestly, that's got to be such a tilt-worthy spawn when Thieves go and watch that back, right? They actually had Octane like pushed out towards River, trying to get the cutoffs, nice map spread, and then Simp just spawns in the back. I'm not saying it is easy to figure this map out at all. But again, FaZe maybe just have something a little bit extra. Clearly something, you know, a bunch of teams are going to have to take a look at. And this might honestly turn into an auto veto against FaZe, at least over the next couple weeks as teams learn and grow. But Right now, this is more of just a victory lap time, unless Thieves can string something serious together.
I mean, serious is one way of putting it. We're talking about something truly legendary at this point from the